at it again, it really did feel like Polar Coretex were not down for the count. They didn't get demoralized, but they lost earlier today, and they now want to get some revenge here. And boy, howdy, will they get their opportunity to get some revenge, because this is a KO starting awakening if I've ever seen one. And here on Night Market as well, there's potentially a lot of damage flying back and forth. So we'll see, though, if this era eventually does get outpaced once the damage starts scaling. But with the prizefighter start herself, I'm a bit curious to see what AI's cooking here.
Yeah, we'll see. The X era, of course, a NASA staple, but I think we'd have expected it to come from a previous NASA, not this one, the most competitive one ever here. Expo and Zoe looking as comfortable as ever, and Drakkar has been the talk of the town, right? This pick has been really dominant throughout the current meta.
Absolutely agreed. Just provides so much utility, so much damage, as I think a lot of players have gotten really good at using Molten Bolt effectively, recognizing that not only can you use it for damage, you can't, you don't have to just use it to snipe away the core on open clears. You can use it just to basically soft CC the enemies to make sure that you really advantage power plays or 2v1s or goal opportunities there. But as of right now, it's sort of, wow, what an amazing save to start this off here against Name Chaotic.
Yeah, really, really well played here. As the core speed's coming in, it's overtime, and everything's accelerating forward here. Expo Chan, no meter available, and the strike war being won. Assertive, though, a difficult defense, still getting it done on this eject Luna, and building up a lot of meter in the process. Zoe the Witch keeping the core contained, and the Fool on this favored Dubu pick is going to have a hard time in this overtime, it feels like.
Yeah. I hopefully sound better now. Some technical issues that are going around right now, but hopefully these issues won't extend to the game proper. And Name Chaotic going to be banished away as the Fool, unfortunately not able to save the Craner Maker. It's going to give Assertive the point. Oh, actually Zoe the Witch credited. It might have been a shotgun instead.
Yeah, it's quite the offensive composition coming out. And yeah, Brickbat, you do sound better. I think we freed you from the webcam, with the webcam cage. As that's going to be a quick first barrier going down. Assertive with the meter available. And this Luna, usually a defensive liability, but we're not seeing much of it here as Assertive is playing so confidently.
And normally speaking, yeah, talking about the X Luna matchup, normally the Luna can get really shut down if the X is standing in front of her, right? Not be able to get extended whammies, not going to be able to use her boost to get across the map when needed. So it's really good if you're a CyberSwipe fan to see the matchup play out the way it is, to see Name Chaotic not really be able to take out the Luna from the play here. In fact, it's the opposite. The Luna is going to be taking the X right now. Another Crater Maker KO coming through.
Yeah, and so much meter to play with here, trying to flip A off the edge here as Zoe the Witch. The Hover Fortress as well coming out. Expo Chan in position, looking to dribble it across the map. The Fool being faced with a lot of core speed. And in the previous series, they did win with this Dubu, but unlike the previous series, the Fool's not being allowed to step forward at all.
Ooh, A though, good strike war. Assertive caught a little bit lacking there. Had the core flip, but thought that she could win the strike war. Not going to be able to use that now though. Or going to be able to use that now though here in the defense. Fool though, looking march the core forward. Name Chaotic now hovering a lot closer to Assertive than what any goalie's going to be comfortable with. Pillars come through, but it's still going to be defended away. Zoe the Witch now has the strike. The Fool, though, able to clear a bit of a crazy misclear, but it works out anyways. And Name Chaotic finds the bell ringer, finds the strike reset, gets it through Assertive. No boost there to catch it. Going to be a completely even game now.
Yeah, getting a lot of defensive value out of this Dubu pick. The Fool looking stalwart in that point. And if they can get the core to Name Chaotic more often, I think they'll find a lot more efficient success here. But it's all up to A in this midfield to get past Zoe and Expo, right? It's a pseudo-double midfield. Not really with the Drakkar, but still kinda. And oh no, the Fool assassinated by Zoe the Witch. And with that, it is a huge advantage here for CyberSwipe.
Yeah, not only are there no prize fighter stacks here on the Fool. Okay, well, sometimes it happens. Every goalie gets their one. It's grand finals. Hey, it's grand finals. They get their nerves. But they, even though that happens, CyberSwipe have a lot to look forward to, even though that just happened. I've been unfortunate. It feels like I got a deja vu from National Grams yesterday as well. But that was a little crazy. And but CyberSwipe, despite what just happened, still I feel like they have the advantage in this set. They have their fully stacked prize fighters now, and on the flip side, the only person that even has any sort of stacks on the prize fighter is the Era, which isn't going to do that much with that power. So as of right now, CyberSwipe still perfectly in prime position to take this set. They just need to be able to get it done, be able to find these KOs. A is looking really squishy right now with no evade, and they need to be converting off these power plays.
Yeah, like you mentioned, a bit familiar, but hopefully not the same result here as Zoe the Witch goes in. Building up a bit of meter, the Fool already at a flip as Zoe cautiously plays forward. But Name Chaotic's getting more and more accurate as this game goes on, right? Making the most of every opportunity, threading the needle there between the pillar and the wall. And the Fool, what was that? The Fool at 3 million speed, he flew across the map.
Yeah, that's Polar's doing too. That ain't Mob Boots. The Fool, he went up not like just thinking that he wouldn't come back. And you know what? He was right. The Fool, in dramatic fashion, takes the set, takes it for his team. Now we're looking at what is looking to be kind of an unfortunate draft, it feels like. The Air is going to have to be the one to deny this Adrenaline Rush, but that leaves things like the Twin Drive open for this Luna, which I'm assuming is going to be taken. Yeah, that's going to add a lot of pressure to Assertive, especially because Name Chaotic has been struggling so much to deny Assertive those boosts in. And even though, unfortunately, we did see kind of an iconic whiff on that in the last set, that's still twice as many situations where Luna can play offensively into the Dubu. So I think that Name Chaotic really needs to start working to counteract that, but that's going to be hard in a prize fighter start because you're going to be taking a lot of damage in order to play that offensively, and if you're not able to get the job done, it's just going to be snowballed in favor of CyberSwipe.
Yep, Assertive in the corner. Name Chaotic capitalizing here. And the set snowball not close to happening yet, but maybe with the snipe onto A, that's what we're talking about. Name Chaotic already low, and Zoe the Witch going forward to try and score here, bouncing around the Fool, and the Fool unable to find the clear angle here. It's huge from CyberSwipe, a completely different look for them, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the Twin Drive, right, coming out of there, immediately being the direct result. Or the direct cause of the goal. They're already finding its value, and we're just going to see more of that. This Luna is on her way to be an absolute monster scaler. Extra special, specialized training, missile propulsion. These are all still in the pool. And if Assertive gets goalie credit like that, she's going to be able to choose it undeniable. So it's going to be a big game for her if she's able to get the ball rolling on that. But for now, she's still got a set to win.
It was a little dangerous here for Name Chaotic, who rushes it forwards. Gets buffed up, and Polar Coretex, they need to find these core control scoring plays, maybe damage onto Zoe the Witch as well here, who has built up a flip now, and that's dangerous, right? That Drakkar can go for the goal, can go for the KO if you're too close to the edge, but currently being pressured away here. A with a speed, back to Assertive, Name Chaotic in position, but a flip going to be burned here, and going to be able to strike it away as the pillar disappears. Still a dangerous spot for CyberSwipe, but they get out of the sticky situation, force a lot of cooldowns out of the Fool. This is their moment, but the Fool still has flip available.
Yeah, flip available, gonna have to be burned immediately though. Actually snipes the barrier away, well played by the Fool, but he's gonna have to weather the storm here of this power play. Zoe the Witch now with flip, Assertive on that Twin Drive. Luna still has another play, the whammy's gonna send it forward now. Expo Chan unable to convert it though. Doesn't have the tools. A bit of an awkward situation here. Name Chaotic though, possession of the core after it all ends. A with a strike war win against Expo Chan, critical. Sends it into the bottom side of the net. Staying calm, staying collective in high stressful situations like that. That is what Polar fans want in order for them to take this series.
Yeah, that was huge here for Polar Coretex. They need more of that. They need more of that faster, really, before the damage starts stacking up, and they're under pressure. But right now, especially with the last draft favoring CyberSwipe so much, they need to find something quickly, but Zoe the Witch, the one who is swift, finds the rebound and opens up the net.
Bit of a back and forth here, but we see A playing really aggressively here, standing so close to the edge, understanding that, or just trusting himself that he'll be able to react to whatever Zoe the Witch wants to do. And so far it's been working right now, as this midfield has been going slightly in the favor of Polar Coretex at this point, but this could quickly change here. Yeah, oh, Assertive asserting her dominance here in the enemy's goal line. A snipe boost combo. That's one for the history books right there. That's going to be a point going the way of CYBR. And even though they didn't get the snowball in the way that I thought they would, they're just playing better and winning more. They're going to be the ones here advantage just point-wise.
Yeah, but they got to be careful, right? Oh, never mind. Both barriers taken already. Assertive with the flip available. The twin drive for so much mobility. And if Name Chaotic can't get value quickly here, that could be curtains for this set at the very least. Assertive with so much room to play. The entire bottom side of the map wide open for a dash, as Assertive dangerous against Name Chaotic, but just slowly playing it around. Oh, a bit of a panic flip on the defense, but they KO A, and now another power play. Assertive stepping all the way forward. Expo Chan with the rebound. They don't get the goal just yet, but they KO the goalie. What?
Yeah, that was an insane shotgun, it feels like, and this just feels like a foregone conclusion. No! Name Chaotic gets the save here. Oh, and A comes through as well. The power play is going to end. Name Chaotic 1v3 Strike Wars stalls it out, and now all of a sudden, we're just back to normal after an insane power play defense, reverse power play defense here from Polar Coretex. They're still in it right now.
Still, okay, well, a bit of a vicious caster curse there, but the core speed will be picked up, and Expo Chan to the bottom corner, securing it there. Zoe the Witch first pick, and that is scary, especially when you're facing a Drakkar that is already so strong. Now looking to take some bis.
Missile prop. Yeah, I'm thinking this missile prop's coming out. Yeah, this is... Drakkar no longer is a shotgun. He's kind of got... He swapped out the pellets for... slug shots. They're going to go pretty far. They're going to be able to do a lot of damage. And on the flip side, Zoe the Witch as well, getting Spark of Strength to start some of the scaling. I think we've only seen one Spark so far, and even though that was a deny for Name Chaotic, it enters in Assertive for that Spark race. And at this point in the game, unless X starts finding KOs, I think that Assertive is going to pretty commonly find herself ahead in draft over Name Chaotic. So this could be a potential dead-end X scaling build, even though he does get the size here in this draft.
Yeah, he's going to pick up Awakenings, but not the crazy combo they are looking for here. Speaking of crazy combos, finding a cool passing play, our Cyber Swipe. Right to Name Chaotic it goes, but the hit stun will help out. The barrier taken by A on the crossfire, though. And don't forget, the additional size is just a core control menace. Name Chaotic getting in there and making it difficult for the Luna in the matchup.
That's what we want to see. We want to be able to see this twin drive negated. Remember, if the Luna cannot boost in, it's more or less a dead awakening, even though it is considered Luna's bis. A good dodge here from A, but it's just not going to mean anything. The Crater Maker sends this era flying, and an unfortunate Tofu Fortress means that it's not going to be able to defend the goal here. Open net now for the side of Polar Coretex. Name Chaotic with a flip, though. He could take this away. The X Maximus comes out to just buy some time, but the Rune Pillar is just playing so much interference. An amazing combo from Zoe the Witch here, sends it right up to Expo Chan on top of that, and that was a stylish play coming out of CyberSwipe's Brawler.
Stylish and productive as the goal is scored. They finally take the lead, but look at their meter. They need to be careful here because the Fool and Name Chaotic are looking at their flips. Name Chaotic in particular have been so scary and forced to burn it. Zoe the Witch immediately putting on the pressure.
Feels like Zoe the Witch is starting to run away with this game, and all eyes were on assertive previously, but oh no, the double banish is there. Whoa, a flip finds a KO on Expo Chan though, and now a potential power play for Polar Coretex to get something back, but no, Name Chaotic is going to be flipped off the map here. The Fool playing so aggressively, so confidently, despite the circumstances. Props to him. Expo Chan now going to be back up. Name Chaotic as well, soon to re-enter the stage. Right now, we get a little bit of a back and forth. On the flip side, a little bit of a miss dash here from Assertive means that it's going to be up to Zoe the Witch to save the day. That she does. Open net here for Polar Coretex. And a goal. Holy moly.
What a snipe. What an angle to the top corner. And yeah, sometimes it's easy to forget. It's a prize fighter start. It's a Deadeye start. And then people start dying. And then you're like, oh, well, there's no wonder they died at that range when the start was like that. It's pretty overwhelming, but Name Chaotic and A immediately such a rapid kickoff play, and now in a danger is Assertive. Expo Chan will help save it for now, but to the top corner it goes. Good positioning by the CyberSwipe midfielder to send it away, but this Luna is looking a little bit dangerously vulnerable in this open net.
Assertive there, good whammy to get the one goalie barrier. Zoe the Witch almost finding a second one there with the strike shotgun, but The Fool right now able to survive against the onslaught. This is looking really scary. Zoe the Witch with flip here on the final point can almost definitely spell an open net, if not a goal in and of itself. Shotgun though doesn't come through. Name Chaotic an opportunity. Boom! The X mix up there with a bull rush. That's got to feel good to pull off. And here we go. Polar Coretex going to find themselves on the board this set.
Maintain the meter as well, right? That would have been a slight disadvantage if Name Chaotic had used a flip, but with confidence, goes for the shot, doesn't think of pressing that button, but now going to take so much damage, forced to burn the flip to stay alive, and still going to die. Zoe the Witch, 6 KO streak, just a monster in the damage department here, as Assertive goes in as well, burns the flip from the Fool, who does earn one barrier, almost a double, and now the Fool in danger, but does survive just barely.
Yeah, oh my god, I felt like the core was redirected a million times, almost into a double barrier. Zoe the Witch is, I think, playing phenomenally right now. So much pressure, getting through a Dubu, just no small feat, especially here against the Fool, who is so storied on the character. But as of right now, it's going to be all members of CyberSwipe here on the defense. Expo Chan finally able to get it away, but no, it falls out of her hands. It's just going to be an open net for CyberSwipe. They are on full defense right now. As the Fool now pondering his options. What is he going to do? The pillar is going to come through actually to take out one goalie barrier, but the Name Chaotic bull rush not able to actually secure it. It's a bit of a back and forth now here in the corner offense as we enter overtime here.
Or rotated around the world. That could have been a crazy angle off the center, and Assertive not going to burn the flip on defense. Good passing play from 8 to Name Chaotic and the X Maximus to make sure the strike priority is there. It's all tied up now, and this point's going to decide it all. Zoe the Witch, the focal point of this early point here. Can she put on the damage? Can she get a knockback KO?
Yeah, she's going to have to find it here. Name Chaotic already going to be just abused right now. So low. Able to get the orb. Might not be able to get the second one. Has the bull rush just to protect his own space, essentially. So now the banish comes through. This is just, that was disgusting what just happened in Name Chaotic just got done dirty here by CyberSwipe. 2 flips come out. Reverse power play going to be taken, but this is no resources now for the side of Polar Coretex. They're going to have to defend, which they are doing right now. As Name Chaotic going to come back up. The Tofu Forge is going to buy a bit more time. This is, again, a critical point. This X is scaling, might depend on the outcome of this point. The defense comes through right now. The beam comes through, but it's going to be dodged by Zoe the Witch. Zoe the Witch not able to find the goalie barrier, but it's going to be Expo Chan. One more opportunity for CyberSwipe. Not going to be taken here. The X Maximus guarantees to clear out, and the bull rush, though, barely misses now. Zoe the Witch sends the core forward. Expo Chan with advantage. Name Chaotic, though, potential breakaway, but no, whiffs the strike, unfortunately, in the center. The goalie barrier is going to go down A now, off the map for another 6 seconds. The flips there. Expo Chan wins the strike war, and that is a heartbreaker if you are Polar Coretex.
Yeah, the damage came through for them when it mattered most, and the Luna now first pick. It's going to be even more damage, as you can already tell what they're looking at in this draft.
Happy Star, the Happy Star, I think, is going to shine a little bit too brightly for this game. Yeah, going to be immediately picked up by Assertive, no hesitation. On the flip side, movement speed for the Dubu can be pretty useful, but just going down the line here on CyberSwipe, it's just painful pickup after painful pickup for the side of Polar Coretex. Hot shot on the rune, stacks on stacks for the Jakar. These are all just generically amazing awakenings for these characters, and it's just going to be a little bit harder now. On the flip side, one small benefit is the prime time on A. Even though it's not really scaled out, no CTL or chrono boost or anything like that, it's still going to be Era's most impactful ability here for the X in these situations. So if A is able to play aggressively, get those flips out, or sorry, get those beams out, it can go very well for Polar Coretex. A little bit more hope for them here, and potentially the final set of the game.
Yeah, Name Chaotic's getting a lot of value in these 1v1s against Assertive. If the damage pressure isn't put onto this X, CyberSwipe are the ones that are often in trouble here. A lot of cooldowns being burned by Assertive, who is in the 1v1 once again. The boost will save it, but again, so dependent on that cooldown to get it done here. Zoe the Witch now critically low. Name Chaotic bull rushing, but another good rocket from Assertive. Another good strike by Assertive, and the pillar will save it for now. Well played, and so much damage on the Name Chaotic, but the timing isn't quite there. Assertive's back with the eject button and has the flip available now, but Name Chaotic with the hit stun will get it done.
Yeah, big win. And as of note, this is 2 sparks on the X. Zoe the Witch electing to pick Happy Star over the Spark Deny, which means that there is that little bit of scaling hope here for the X. 2 sparks plus size, not terrible to have. Obviously, the prize fighter going to do a lot of work as well, should he stay alive. So there is that, I think, set 4X here in contention. This can take over the game if the era is able to assist them. But as of right now, it's not looking good. Zoe the Witch almost 1v2ing. The pillar comes through as well. Assertive here. Now the third forward here in the enemy net. Expo Chan playing so patiently, waiting for her teammates to maybe come up, but not going to get the opportunity. The X Maximus almost takes a double barrier, but right now the Banish is going to slow the pace down. Oh, really unfortunate rush. And wow, Assertive just wants to score, it seems like. That's a crazy whammy right there.
What a combination. What an overwhelming offense here. And the meter situation not looking too great on Polar Coretex either, as Zoe the Witch advancing towards a flip. And those flips from Zoe have had so much value, right? Especially in the KO department. Named Chaotic, though. 2 barriers taken in an instant. Assertive dashing down to try and find it, but not quite enough. Zoe and Expo Chan are going to have to work overtime here to try and find their way back into this point, because if it gets the name Chaotic, it's not going to look too great.
Absolutely. I think right now the X is so advantaged in the 1v1s, especially if he is denying a lot of the range that Luna wants to work with. But on the flip side, so far, it feels like Cyberswipe, an opportunity. No, named Chaotic finds a breakaway, feels like that breakaway came out of nowhere and just takes the 1v1 from what feels like a kind of disadvantaged situation.
Yeah. It was a little slip up from Zoe the Witch, hit it towards the pillar, and it went backwards, and Named Chaotic got priority on a strike. Here's the combo, though, and Named Chaotic slow. They need to take off this recovery drone, because right now, Named Chaotic can play without fear.
It is definitely a big confidence booster. On top of that, right, being able to just tank whatever Luna has for you means that not going to be able to use those abilities for any scoring opportunities, which, by the way, Assertive has been using incredibly well. So I think Zora will absolutely appreciate that. A 1v3 Strike War win here from Named Chaotic. It really does feel like this X is getting activated. It feels like Named Chaotic, the player, is getting a little bit activated as well. Oh my god, what a crazy goal! Named Chaotic might be the just pulling a masterclass here off of Night Market goals here after that unfortunate slip up earlier in the day.
What a ridiculous performance. First pick as well, and the spark does arrive, the third spark, and that's going to be a lot of stats on this X, right? A lot of speed, a lot of cooldown reduction, and those two stats are so important here. On the other hand, though, spec training, this Luna, the rune combination, that could be quite devastating if you're not careful.
I absolutely agree. Heavy impacts on Era 2. I'm a little bit of a fan on it. It's so easy to proc on her beam, and with the prime time, it means that she's going to be able to fling out those beams a lot, which is going to be important. I think not often talked about, right, that power reduction that the Era beam can give. It's actually something that you could do here, right? If you use it reactively, maybe to a rune banish like that, make sure that the pillars don't do as much damage, things like that, right? It could potentially make a world of difference for Named Chaotic.
Expo Chan and Assertive looking for a passing play to Zoe the Witch. Unsuccessful so far. Named Chaotic over to strike reset, but a little bit too far from the core to do so there. Lots of damage onto Zoe the Witch, though, getting flung across the map. The cooldown's being burned for now, though. And Cyberswipe on the back foot in the damage game.
Yeah, this is big. I mean, set 5x, 3 sparks. This is exactly what you want, right? On top of that, even harder to kill with this vicious Vambrace, which I haven't noted, or I failed to mention so far. This Named Chaotic is about as bulky as you can get with a spark combination without the spark of resilience, and with that speed as well, these 1v1 situations are just going to be even more brutal for Assertive. So she's going to have to play phenomenally right now, but the X Maximus now opening up the net. The Strike War is there. Named Chaotic is going to be fully activated, a masterclass of X here on Night Market.
Yeah, and even though Zoe the Witch does pick up a KO, they need to find a way to stop Named Chaotic here. They can KOA, but if Named Chaotic continues this onslaught, they're going to lose barriers. They're going to lose too fast.
Agreed. That damage stacking is so critical, especially, again, it is a prize fighter start. I haven't mentioned it in a bit, but that's still on the board as a potential win condition here for Cyberswipe. But this final set's coming through, and oh my god, and Named Chaotic is going absolutely nuclear. This man is dropping bombs all over Cyberswipe, just boom, boom, boom. And this man looks unstoppable. It really feels like Named Chaotic has fully scaled. He has all the tools to take over the game, and he is sitting undisputed as the strongest striker here on the map.
Oh, that's a double barrier. Assertive doesn't flip. A finds the angle, and now Assertive is in so much trouble. Forced to flip it. Name Chaotic set up perfectly by the rebound. What a perfect last set for Polar Coretex. What a perfect last set for Name Chaotic.
I mean, that has got to be one of the craziest combo finishes I have ever seen in the NAS. What an amazing setup. What amazing support provided by Name Chaotic's team, but there's a reason I'm calling him Name Chaotic's team instead of Polar Coretex right now. It really felt like these last two sets, Name Chaotic came alive. He showed us some amazing angles to come out, and I really feels like that is kind of his development of his X Factor. I think that's something that he has been working on a little bit throughout the regular season, but we're really starting to see it fly here. He is such creative shots onto the net. He's able to use that bull rush so effectively here on the X that, I mean, an 11+1 performance from Name Chaotic. I don't think you could have a better performance. Like obviously 12+0, but it's just impossible to have that good of a performance. It just feels inhuman at times, and Name Chaotic is absolutely the MVP right now of the series so far.
Yeah, and the other big factor was the Fool, right? In that game, just had perfect log timing to block a lot of the follow-up offense coming through from Assertive, from Expo, from Zoe. A lot of great pillars from CyberSwipe, a lot of great abilities on the end were just completely nullified by the Fool, playing very reliably on the Dubu.
Yeah, absolutely agree. That provided a lot of the stability that we saw. Not to mention, right, the early games when Name Chaotic was not a scaled X, did not have those 2 to 3 sparks plus the size. The Fool really came through. We remember going back to that early set, right? Just being, Name Chaotic completely usurped by the Fool with that flip to take the first set. So really well played to the Fool. I mean, obviously really well played to Polar Coretex, and it feels like they've got momentum in their sets. After a win like that, you've got to be feeling amazing, and that means you are in a prime position to potentially start this reset here in Grand Finals.
Yeah, next map is Zapdo and CyberSwipe on the blue side.
Woo.
And how do you think that one's going to go?
I think there's going to be a lot of death. I think there's going to be a lot of death, destruction, nuclear bombs, everything that you want, ICBMs, all that great stuff, right? On the flip side, I'm actually really interested to see if Polar Coretex are eventually going to match it, because the last start was Prizefighter Deadeye, and we saw an Era X, and they struggled a little bit earlier because of it, but that is something that they consciously elected into, and I wonder if they're going to go for something a little bit more tame, a little bit more core control-y, a little bit less explosive here on what I feel like is the map to go crazy nuclear bomb murder everything on. Zap, right? It's just so easy to find KOs. It's so easy to get kill confirms on this map with so many different characters that it really feels like CyberSwipe are going to be able to play that, and I'm going to wonder if Polar are going to match them here in their picks.
Look at these starting awakenings, though. These are not friendly to the players in the slightest. We are heading into this Zap, and it is a stinger primetime start. We are in for a match.
Oh, absolutely. I cannot be more excited. I've really come to enjoy Zap in the pool, and obviously I'm saying that as someone who selected it for the pool and who does not have to play it himself. So I understand the frustrations that Zap does bring to some players, right? It really does make you focus on KOing. It's so hard to play the midfield at times, and sometimes it can feel really impossible to deal with starts like this. But it really has led to a lot of explosive games, and I feel like teams that can play it have such a big draft advantage. We've seen this come out so much here in playoffs, and I mean, it really does feel like a scrim check sometimes if you are able to play this effectively, because if not, you really can get rolled over, and we have seen some rolls on this map. So especially on that Stinger star, I'm so scared. Things like the Zentaro, things like the Vice, things like, heck, the Luna even, right, can really, really rain havoc on, especially on the players like Name Chaotic, who play so core control-y, who look to win those 1v1 strike wars that we saw, but really did struggle with the damage when he was the focus of CyberSwipe's fire, especially in the early mid parts of that previous game.
Yeah, we'll see the Drakkar being taken away by Polar Coretex. They do not want to play against that. They did win the game, but the Drakkar had their number for most of it. So, especially on Zap, not something that you want to face. And Imi going to be first picked by CyberSwipe. This could be a huge draft moment for Polar Coretex. They could just be like, okay, well, what if we take the Juliet, and what if we what if we take something else too?
Yeah, things like the Juliet, obviously things like the Rasmus. That being said, Rasmus sort of a pick that used to dominate this map, really falling off lately, especially because people are realizing that if you pick a character that just has a blink, you can just blink over it. And Rasmus doesn't really have tools to KO you otherwise.
Okay,
so
well, the real reason is I think the more coordinated teams are, the harder it is to get value out of Rasmus. And Rasmus isn't like the biggest KO pick. And as people get better at surviving on Imi's app, then damage becomes a huge factor. Where Juliet can be facilitating damage pick and also secure KOs very well, Rasmus is very dependent on that single hook ability. And I think that's why we see much lower Rasmus priority now, and why Rasmus priority is still high when in the mid to lower levels.
Oh, fair enough. I stand corrected. But on the flip side, Polar Coretex here actually opting into the era again, which I think is I'm really interested. It really seems like they really believe in this pick, even in the face of damage, which I feel like historically has been one of Era's worst matchups. She's a very vulnerable character, right? Doesn't have anything to really evade the damage outside of universal mechanics like her evade. And so she could really get bullied out in these situations, especially on situations like Stinger, where that regen could be can really just be reset again and again and again and again. And with Zentaro being locked in by CyberSwipe, I'm really worried this time for Polar Coretex.
Yeah, this is going to be a very interesting draft for CyberSwipe here. It's probably a Rasmus goalie if I had to guess. Either it's a Rasmus midfielder or a goalie, but I think it's a goalie heading into this one. And on the other end, it's Comfort. It's the Kai being picked.
All right, Polar Coretex, you know what? Show me your stuff. I will be a big fan of Polar Coretex. They played an amazing game, so I am so down to be corrected, but this comp does not look like it's it for Imi's app on a Stinger primetime start. Obviously, primetime big on the Kai. Obviously, like one of the best primaries in the game, so you get two of them. Probably the second best primary in the game, probably for goalie outside of Asher primary, right? I could be wrong, right? Atlas is definitely in contention for that as well, but they're picking Comfort on a start that doesn't look good for that. I don't think. I'm just not quite sure, but Polar Coretex, hey, they're the ones down there. I'm the one up here, and I'm super down to be corrected here. Comfort's always going to be exciting to watch here, but Eek, it's Stinger. Eek, it's Zentaro, and no one picked Stinger. Never mind. Okay, well, all right. You know what? That's cool too. That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah. Well, heading into this one, I guess what do you expect? It is the the Rasmus goalie as predicted, and that's the barrier already going down. Last time these two faced each other on the app, it was quite possibly the quickest paced game of all time, where the defense was non-existent. So, do you think that's going to happen again?
Yeah, maybe. It could very well be. Rasmus can fall very quickly to things like the Juliet if the core gets a little bit too close to him. It's going to be, exactly what Assertive is doing there. But, yeah, definitely not a great start on the defense, the no defense allegations from both teams right now, as we need a pretty quick goal of kind of a misclear, it feels like, from Assertive.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. The offense has been explosive on Imi's app. And the usual line of thought is if there's only one barrier and it's relatively easy to defend, but if the offense is on point, then there's only one barrier and then you lose.
Yeah, and you know what? It's going back 50-second goalie barrier down. It feels like maybe we will get a repeat of the previous game, and you know what? I'm down for that. I'm so down to see what the forwards of both teams have to offer, and feels like maybe every goalie will get their one good save there, though, from Assertive. Going to be a KO found, though, onto Expo Chan for now. So we'll see what comes of his power play next.
Name Chaotic setting up, dash punching, but flipped away by Assertive. The Fool, though, always there to reinforce. The barrage in, Name Chaotic with the strike, and it will be a quick second point. Both points barely going 40 seconds. This one, 41, but the previous one, I think, less than 30. It's a fast pace.
Oh, yeah, and we'll see if the fast pace continues on. I'm still kind of, I'm going to be honest, I'm still a little bit shell-shocked by no Stinger pickups on Imi's app, especially when you have Imi Zentaro on your team. It just feels like it's such a easy way to play and win. I'm just surprised why why you would go for it. Obviously, Primetime's still going to be good in some situations. Cyber Swipe, really good ability in general, right? So, or not Cyber Swipe, Glitch Pop, really good ability in general. So getting 2 of it's going to be really nice. But I don't know. I'm a little bit of a non-believer in everything that's going on in this game. But one thing that I can rely on is Name Chaotic getting it done, sinking it in this set. And that's going to be a quick first set here.
Yeah, the full looking comfortable. The Awakening draft looking quite nice for them as well, right? 1-2 punch for the Juliet later on, and just pretty generally good Awakening showing up. Aerials for the additional mobility, and Hotshot for the Rasmus goalie's pendulum swings, but that leaves the 1-2 punch to fall right into the Juliet's lap, and I think that's going to be the highlight here.
100%. This Juliet can find so many KO angles, and Name Chaotic not been the thing that he's been focusing on this series, but he absolutely can now. Definitely can now. And it definitely will make up for the primetime dash punch reduction. We'll see if he opts into actually switching up that playstyle, because so far Polar Coretex has played so heavily into core control so far this series. I'm wondering if it's just too big of a stylistic change to really do. But we'll see here in the coming points. Is right now, it is looking pretty draft favored for the side of Polar Coretex coming off of that.
And keep in mind, 1-2 punch is also core control Awakening, not really coming into effect there as the Fool gets it done with the barrage, but Name Chaotic can go for punch dribbles into a strike and find a lot of scoring angles that way. So not completely KO brain there, but if a dash punch opportunity opens up, then you might as well dash punch, you know? You don't have to be a KO focused team to do that, as the Fool barrages it forward. And Name Chaotic gets in there. Good defense right now by Cyber Swipe, but overall, the Cyber Swipe defense has not been impressive this game.
Yeah, 100% agreed on that. It feels like Rasmus, these primaries, been trying to use them at range, but really never getting the opportunity, or doing so. If they do get the opportunity, it's just get whiffing in these situations. And oh no, almost another gore scold though, but a good reaction here by Assertive. Now the midfielder is going to be down for Polar Coretex, but the Fool here is on a breakaway, has the flip, wants to end it here. Oh no.
No, it's fine, it's fine.
Not good. Is it fine? I don't know. I think Expo gets there quicker. Yeah. Hey, nice try.
I thought the Fool would have barrage backup, but then I realized he used both his barrages, and then it was not fine.
Yeah, I mean, when you do a play like that, you best be using all your cooldowns. So you win or you go home on a play like that. And so the Fool, unfortunately, a little bit too close to the sun. His feathers a little bit melted, but he's gonna have to get himself back into fighting shape here right now. He's just doing the same thing again. What a Chad.
Yeah, and another barrage used to make sure Cyber Swipe's offense cannot start too well, but a good flick by Zoe the Witch to maintain possession. It goes to Name Chaotic, but the pendulum swings have been good. Name Chaotic into 1v1, pulled away by Assertive, but the Fool is in there with the barrage, and Assertive. It goes the wrong order on the abilities, unfortunately. It's going to be big for the Fool as he has taken over the game.
Yeah, it's just as you said, the Fool is absolutely dominating, just doing the job of 3 strikers in one. Already going to be an open goalie barrier here for the side of Cyber Swipe. Again, midfielder going to go down though in this situation, but a barrage from the Fool's there. The comfort really does show here in these situations. It feels like the Fool is just mechanically outplaying Cyber Swipe at every turn. Flip going to come through, not going to be defended. Name Chaotic almost sent out, but it's going to be the Fool shot dead here on the application. Name Chaotic going to be soon to follow. A little bit of a momentum swing, and A can only watch as the inevitable happens.
Well played by Cyber Swipe to bring this game back under control, and despite how bad it was looking, if they score one more goal, oh, that's a race, and it's an even game.
Yeah. Bit of a back and forth here. It feels like so many sets have gone to set 5, but that really just speaks to how intense everything is. No, the Fool. I feel like I just saw that happen in slow motion, where I just saw that ability fly across. I was like, oh no, watch out! He's got he's got earpods in, so he's dead. He's dead, but he's back. He's back. I spoke too long, and he's back. He's good to go.
Yeah, and then the net's open on the other end here. Name Chaotic looking for an opportunity. The NATO coming in as well, and the Shrink slowing everyone down. Assertive. Expo Chan with the body block, but taking too much damage in the process. It's a big power play here for Polar Coretex. Zoe the Witch going to help defend for now. A in a good spot, and Assertive shrunk. Forced to flip. The Flame Flurry, and a flick by Name Chaotic right past Zoe the Witch. Oh my, what a strike at the end of it.
That was beautiful. That was amazing. Name Chaotic I think he's having the series of his career right now. These plays look phenomenal. Going to be absolutely rewarded. Prize fighter, heavy impact, built different. Everything's going to be on the table and more. We'll see what name Chaotic thinks. Oh, Spark Deny. Interesting. Oh, yeah, Spark Deny. All right, fair enough.
I actually expected heavy impact there from Name Chaotic.
Yeah.
Spark of Agility, especially when you're looking to win now, right? You want to win the next set now. I'm not sure if that's exactly the optimal play, but with the team player pickup with the additional speed on A, they do have the tools to win at the moment. But yeah,
I guess a little bit. Yeah.
All in all, though, the drafting not too great, I think.
Yeah, I really feel like name. Yeah, it feels like an unconfident draft that you weren't gonna win. But you know what? Brawlers need to be a little bit more selfless anyways. You know, they need to be the ones to deny in case to be an insurance policy. And you know what? Name Chaotic doesn't even need it. I mean, who am I to doubt this man? Who am I to doubt this absolute creature and his prey right now, his enemy goalies? It really does feel like he's just finding opportunity after opportunity, and he's finding conversion after conversion. This man is looking a little bit like Porygon right now.
Well, let's hope that he can level up a little bit and get the bracket reset done as well, because right now, Cyber Swipe looking to try and take it back here. Good defense coming out from Assertive. Zoe the Witch and Expo Chan in position, but the NATO going to deny it once more, force out the use of meter. Now Expo's vulnerable, but the Fool has died on the other end. Zoe the Witch getting the KO, and that's a huge opportunity for Cyber Swipe. If they win this set, if they start to scale, they can really start punishing here, and that's going to be a goal around everyone.
Yeah, that's well played. I mean, yeah, the Fool just getting fridged off screen basically as the offensive play was happening. Good presence by Name Chaotic to keep the flip, recognizing that it was probably an unsavable situation regardless. So they keep their energy advantage coming to this point, and that means that they have an opportunity to just get the point back. You could absolutely do that, but as of right now, Name Chaotic going to be taking a lot of damage, and the Fool not able to defend right now.
Name Chaotic on Death's Door taken out finally. And Cyber Swipe, they've leaned into their damage playstyle. They didn't take Stinger, but, you know, maybe Stinger wasn't necessary for what they're trying to do here. Just a change in their priorities. It's a perfect glitch pop to the top side. It's a perfect hit stun from Zoe the Witch to make sure the Fool can't catch up. The team gets it done here for Cyber Swipe.
Yeah, wow. Just that felt just frame perfect, everything right there from Cyber Swipe. Able to get that one through just in time before their opponents could react. And another KO going to be found here. Good Cyber Swipe glitch pop combo from Expo Chan. Could it be, a bit of an unfortunate angle, but it's still looking good here. The power play is chugging along smoothly.
And Assertive's getting so much hotshot value with the core speed off of the pendulum swing. Expo Chan overcooks the dribbling play with the glitch pop. And now Name Chaotic has time to pounce. The Fool is running forward here. But Zoe the Witch with the insta flip, it's not going to be enough as Expo Chan looks for a dribbling play. And the core just goes back around the world here. Miss strike, Assertive in a dangerous spot. Will flip it back past the barrier. And now the passing Cyber Swipe plays come through. It's not going to be enough still.
Ooh. Yeah, feels like a bit of a whiff there on the strike. Means that this is now an open net for the side of Cyber Swipe. The Fool, Giga Blast sends it through, but Name Chaotic just not big enough to get it. Oh!
Expo Chan!
You hate to see that. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Not to bring you to 0.5 for the Grand Finals reset. That's just, that doesn't feel good. That does not feel good.
Yeah, not trusting the goalie there and striking right into the waiting arms of the enemy team. We're going to need a big play to try and keep this game going from Expo Chan here. But there's Name Chaotic. There's the dash punch. The reset seems inevitable. A good save by Assertive, but it's still looking bad here for Cyber Swipe.
Yeah, open net. They have to pull through right now if they want to keep their hopes in this game alive, but it just really feels like Polar Coretex, all the wind is in their sails right now. It really feels like they're the ones that are feeling confident, feeling good. The offensive play, though, coming through for the side of Cyber Swipe. They are keeping core possession for a really long time, but they just aren't able to make it through the defenses of the Fool and A right now. Just needs to get in Name Chaotic's hand one more time, it feels like, and this game's going to be over.
Yeah, but it looks like the Fool is locked in on the defense. As I say that, that's the barrier going down. That's Expo Chan with the follow-up. That's up to Zoe. The Witch is not going to be enough. A good pass, but miscommunication as Expo goes for the Cyber Swipe. And now it's not looking as good. The Giga Blast is perfect. And it's a power play here for Polar Coretex.
Name Chaotic with the flip. It's going to be flip on flip. Mono a mono. And Name Chaotic pulls through an amazing shot to clear it. And once again, the core mechanics on this man, the Strike Wizard himself, pulls through and sends his team to a Grand Finals reset. Saya, I just feel like I just watched a definitive series from this man.
Yeah, it's a complete turnaround from the winner side, right? They did not look nearly as confident, but the Fool has stepped up. Name Chaotic has ascended to another level, and Cyber Swipe are in a lot of trouble here.
Yeah, I feel it definitely does. It feels like Name Chaotic, he's got his anime upgrade, he's got his install coming through, and what do you do if you're Cyber Swipe? You have to start maybe focusing on Name Chaotic, just recognizing, hey, this guy is playing really good right now, and we're gonna lose if we let him do his thing. So before he can cook us, we gotta cook him, and we gotta send as many cooldowns his way. And Cyber Swipe absolutely capable of doing that. Definitely no strangers to that sort of play style, but man, this guy is playing out of his mind right now, playing so good. And I feel like Polar Coretex, they got the momentum. Their ball is rolling. Their boulder is coming down that hill at 100 miles per hour, but a poor Aimi sits at the bottom of it trying to stop it, and whew, it's a reset. It's a reset.
Yeah, Grand Finals reset. We don't get many of those here. It is difficult. It's also difficult to bring it all the way. Though, I do get the feeling that in Omega Strikers, teams that tend to reset the bracket tend to win it all. I feel like that's a stat.
Yeah, I actually don't know, but like obviously, right? You just like reset, you're winning, you just beat that team, right? And you're more likely to beat a team that you just beat. I feel like, right? Right? I feel like that's just how it is, right? If you beat a team, you're more likely to beat them again. Maybe I could be wrong.
Maybe. I think the stat's biased because when it happens, it's usually a team that had a bad matchup against another team that got eliminated, and then they're facing a team that they have a good matchup in, and they're the loser side grands, but they have a good matchup into the winner side. Anyway, it's a grand reset.
Yeah, they did have it. Yeah. W, whatever. W reset. And I mean, we'll see if Name Chaotic can pull that in. It's right now a bit of a referee thing. Hold on, let me double check.
Yeah, I'll let you do that. I'll chat it up here. It's a reset here. Cyber Swipe also on even footing now, and they need to be careful not to let the game slip away from them, because they still have one series. They're still one series away from taking it all here, but it's not going to be easy. But as Brickbat gets some communication in, I guess what do you expect from the next set here?
Honestly, I'm not quite sure. It feels like Cyber Swipe have been kind of throwing everything in kitchen sink at Polar Coretex, and they haven't been successful so far. So I'm almost wondering kind of what worked in that first series that sent Polar Coretex down to losers in the first place that worked so well. I'm a bit curious about what that looked like, and seeing if they could repeat it again, because they played damage and it didn't work. And it didn't work into an era on damage starts. So maybe damage doesn't work. Like maybe you just have to play clean. Maybe you have to just do what Polar Coretex is doing, but better to beat them. You have to fight fire with fire, because it feels like that last series was, trying to shut down Name Chaotic, trying to shut down A, trying to shut down the Fool, and it just not working outside of some cases.
Yep. And now we're gonna see what the draft is like here. It is going to be Polar with the side select priority in this one, and I think they have shown that as long as they get comfortable, no matter what picks they're on, just at least something comfortable. I don't think they're going to overthink their draft too much. I don't think they're going to go for the optimal draft. If they play for comfort, I think that they're in a very good spot.
100% agreed, right? We just saw comfort. I was bashing that comp going in. Era Kai onto Stinger Star, like that didn't look good, but who am I to judge? They got it done. I think part of that was because they didn't, CyberSwipe didn't pit Stinger, but like regardless, they got it done on what wasn't a meta composition on a start that on paper looked pretty bad for them, on a map that on paper looked even worse for them. So I think if they play Comfort, I think if Name Chaotic continues to play with the momentum that he has and just doesn't fall out of his groove, just keeps, stays locked in, stays focused, just keeps, doing what he's been doing so far, then Polar Coretex have their X factor. They have their way to win, and that's just letting Name Chaotic get as many 1v1s as possible onto Assertive. And when your brawler's just outplaying the enemy goalie like that, you could always have that anchor. You always have that anchor way to play that'll allow you to take sets, to take games, to take series that you could rely on. And I think that's a huge, huge factor here for Polar Coretex.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty important here. Take a look at the map ban, though. IME Zap off the table. No more Fiesta in this final series. And no more goofy games. And AtLab going to be a staple here, of course. Take a look at the map bans here, I guess. What do you expect coming out? Because I'm pretty sure that's going to be AtLab, Gates, Night Market.
Yeah, really could be the old big three where it gets had one more time. But I think it makes sense. CyberSwipe, I think it makes sense. When you're on a grand finals reset, like that just happened, you want to shake it off and you want to reset yourself. You just want to play stuff that you have a lot of familiarity with. And there ain't a map more familiar to competitive OS than Atlas's Lab. You just want to go in and say, all right, we're going to play the video game and we're going to do it the best we can. And we're not going to rely on gimmicks and the enemy won't be able to gimmick us. We're just going to be able to play what we want. There's no denying it. And we're not going to deny them. And we're just going to go mono a mono. But and not the prediction that you had. It's going to be Gates of Obscure instead of Oni Village, but other than that, not too much different from what you had predicted.
Yeah. Wait, no, that's exactly what I predicted, bro.
What? Didn't you predict Big 3?
No, I predicted AtLab, Gates, Night Market.
Oh. My fault.
Okay, so Achi has just returned with the statistics, and it's the opposite of what I said. The team that lost the first set of grand finals won the reset 75% of the time in the North American Strikers competitions.
W. I mean, my bad. Wait, we hate storylines here. We hate storylines. I hate princess runs. Nah, slap them out, I guess. Fair enough. But
speaking of princess runs, wasn't PPL involved in one of those? Anyway.
I have actually no clue. I ain't got no clue. All I know is that one guy in that team plays Siegfried. That's messed up.
Siegfried Nation.
Yeah. Regardless, though, yeah, we're gonna be getting into our series soon. I think CyberSwipe. I think they drafted right to reset it. They don't want any hijinks coming into this final series, and I think this is about as. I mean, this is about as stable as you could get. I think of a game 1, 2, 3 map select for grand finals reset.
Perhaps. I think the Gates will be a little bit spicy. I think there's a big potential that one of the teams is not as comfortable on Gates, and the funny thing is sometimes it's the team that picks it. So, Gates is definitely a bit of an oddball there. But yeah, with the AtLab, with the Night Market, I think both teams have shown their strengths on both of those maps, and I think it's going to be quite predictable in how normal they will be. I don't expect blowouts on those two.
Yeah, agreed. Team players start, though, a little bit interesting here. And once again, Polar with the Era pick. They're just prioritizing this pick every single time, it feels like. I wonder what they see in it that I haven't been seeing so far, because it really feels like they're just sending it in every single situation, no matter what.
I think A just feels really comfortable on it, and like it showed, right? Like in games beforehand, I think A was not really able to get the core to Name Chaotic, and as soon as that Era pick came through, it's feeling like buttery smooth. Like Name Chaotic's finding opportunity after opportunity, and A is just pretty invisible, but in a good way.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Playing not too flashy, but also not making any big mistakes either. And I think that's the consistency that balances out what Name Chaotic can bring out with his explosiveness. But we'll see, because it's been working so far, and it makes me think like if you lose this game, CyberSwipe, your back's going to be against the wall. Do you actually ban the Era? I feels like that's the consistent factor that's been going on through all these games, and I don't know. We'll see coming into Atlas's Lab here, which can go either way, definitely, as you said before. But I'm still waiting on the rest of the draft here.
Okay, apparently the draft finished, but it didn't finish. What?
What the heck? Whoa. That's oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah, I'm just asking them to remake it.
Yeah,
That-
but we do have our draft in, right? 2-3 was picked up by CyberSwipe, was the Juno, IME, Zentaro going to be their last pick, and it looks like we just have a repeat of last game's composition for Polar Coretex, the Juliet, the Era, the Kai, just going right back to that comfort that we talked about earlier, and it's just Polar Coretex looking to play better, win more. It really feels like.
Okay. So usually when you refresh, the draft disappears, right? But I refreshed this time and it appeared. But that's crazy. W Jet Secret,
Awesome.
You've done it again.
Awesome. We love our tools. We love the tools that we use here on Best Seen Slot. So, but yeah, going back to it, it's a bit of a change for CyberSwipe a little bit here with the Juno IME. I think it's going to be interesting to see if maybe the matchup midfield, especially if it is Expo Chan on the Juno, which it might not be. It could very well be assertive. But either way, I think that matchup does favor the Juno into the Era pretty heavily. We'll see though if that actually comes to be.
Yep. It is at lab up first, and like you mentioned, that Juno to me also seems pretty favored in a vacuum. But what I'm also looking at is this CyberSwipe team. They're gonna have to be careful because again, this is the comfortable trio. Like the Juliet Era Kai, Juliet Era Dubu, those two Polar Coretex compositions aren't anything flashy, but those are where they look so comfortable.
Stock standard. And speaking of which, team player picked up both by A and the Fool. It really feels like they've got that game plan to enable name Chaotic again and again and again. It's going to be the Juno here in the net, and I actually think that Era has a much more favorable matchup into IME, especially versus Juno. Already though, we see a double barrier coming through. Assertive feels like a little bit shaken coming off of that previous series.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recover here, but there's the Slimes. The offensive power of the Juno is pretty significant, and also being able to bypass a lot of the hit stun checks that the Juliet will be throwing out here. Expo Chan on the IME, trying to get it done, but Name Chaotic maintaining possession, looking for the flick, not going to get it, just barely, but going to win the strike war right afterwards, and that's Polar Coretex first on the board.
Yeah, Name Chaotic, it seems like he's going to continue that 1v1 dominance that we've been seeing so far this series. It's going to be up to him to really send it home for Polar Coretex, but he's got a bit of a marathon still left after that previous series. Still 2 more games that he has to win before he could give himself the crown. As of right now, though, it is looking very good. Zoe the Witch going to be taking a huge beating here at the start of the set, as sort of able to defend against the flip. The barrage comes through and negate the slime. Now a potential double barrier opportunity not going to be taken, but Name Chaotic still has all the cooldowns to work with in his tool set, but not going to get the opportunity here. Expo Chan with a flip, sends it through, gets that final goalie barrier, but a 1v1 situation for Name Chaotic. The Blobbo bounce comes through to be able to prevent Name Chaotic from doing anything. The strike is there, the Fool. A little bit flashier than it probably should have been, but hey, sometimes that happens.
Yeah, and sometimes it happens, and sometimes that's good to see for CyberSwipe at the very least. Name Chaotic building up a lot of meter here. It will be the next threat, but Assertive having to flip as well. And these Slimes are really messing up the Fool in a lot of these defenses here.
Yeah, agreed. We'll see if this Juno pick ends up being the kryptonite that Polar Coretex needed, because so far they've been really relying on that Drakkar ban, right? To make sure that Zoe the Witch doesn't have that tool set because they struggled against it so much. And now if they're going to have to ban the Juno as well, that could be a potentially huge drafting advantage for the side of CyberSwipe. That's going to be an open net, though, for Polar Coretex. The flip by Name Chaotic is there, but not going to have the opportunity to be used. Zoe the Witch going to be able to put it in against both A and the Fool.
Yep. That's going to be another goal. That's going to be pretty good. And as CyberSwipe try to repeat history here, right? Losing the first set of grands, but history has shown that that team has gotten it done in the end so far. Expo Chan with a barrier take. Zoe the Witch looking for another, unable to do so, but so far, Name Chaotic not the demon we saw in the previous series.
And a lot of that, I mean, we just saw right there, right? That Juno creates so much space for herself that Name Chaotic might be denied the opportunity to do anything flashy because he's never going to be able to strike the core. So if that continues to happen. Name Chaotic, though, an opportunity right now, but look at that, right? Can't even dribble against this Juno. What is a Juliet supposed to do in that situation?
Yeah, the Blabo bounce, such a good tool against the Juliet dash punch. Here, Name Chaotic by space, but Expo-chan with the clutch save, gets the glitch pop just in time. And this point still going. It's going to be a point where Polar Coretex need to earn the goal.
Yeah, 100%. Expo-chan, a good save there. Sort of had already given up, but shout out to the midfielder of CyberSwipe there. Zoe the Witch, an opportunity to maybe open up the barrier here with a flip. Elects to use that as we get in overtime. No, denied away, and this is potentially disastrous. But the blob is going to be there to deny Name Chaotic's dribble plays. The team player is going to be there. Ooh, and that's going to actually be enough. The core speed takes it to the side of Polar Coretex, and the team player value already coming into play.
Yeah, it's looking pretty dominant here. We are taking a look at the awkwardness that comes in a lot of these overtimes, right? When the core's drifting around and the Fool, the center betrays him. But there's Name Chaotic to follow up to create a power play to try and make an advantage here and to even up the barrier count.
Going to be a power play, still continuing 4 more seconds for Polar Coretex. Not going to be able to get it done. That means Expo-chan's going to have an opportunity to get some revenge here for CyberSwipe and crew. Almost sent off again by the NATO. The dash punch now going to stagger her as well. Flip comes through, not going to be able to find that final barrier. Name Chaotic holding the core for so long, just sizing up his opponents right now, trying to find that competition. Expo-chan, the CyberSwipe glitch pop's going to be there as well, but it isn't going to find the value that she might have wanted. Zoe the Witch, though, an amazing hit stun 1v1 situation now. Not going to be able to find it, though. It's going to be cleared out.
Oh, and what a dash pop from Expo-chan. When they needed it most, it's a power play. Zoe the Witch low, taken out by the Giga Blast from the Fool to nullify the power play. But here's team player. Here's the core speed. Here's the chance for CyberSwipe to get it done here. But it's not enough as it goes backwards. Assertive Expo-chan looking for a power play, looking to cut the power play. But now it's the core speed coming out from Polar Coretex. Whoever has possession has all the control. The Fool will dig it out just barely, but the barrage misses. It's Expo-chan with the angle, and it's CyberSwipe with the lead.
That was a crazy point, and it was on a razor's edge. I almost saw Name Chaotic snipe away the pass with a dash punch on that respawn. That could have been crazy, but it just wasn't meant to be, which means that CyberSwipe could be taking the first series here of Bracket Reset.
And with that, that's the explosive entrance. That is going to be a whole bunch of utility being picked up here. Spark of Strength to start the scaling as well. It is kind of scary, I gotta say. CyberSwipe, they felt really behind in the previous series, but now that they're here, winning the first set, getting the stuff they want on the board, now Polar Coretex need to survive a little.
Yep. Double Spark as well for Expo-chan, which means that it's probably going to be a must deny, which now relies on Name Chaotic to actually MVP, or else it's going to be a little bit awkward for draft, right? Which, that's not what you want to see here to start it out, because you're going to want as much XP as possible. And Name Chaotic is going to need to farm those KOs, but he is just not getting the opportunity. Name Chaotic really not even getting a chance to play at all that point.
Yeah, and Expo-chan, not one of the most consistent players, but when she is locked in, right? And this game, she is showing that her peaks are more than enough to take it over Polar Coretex. And if she keeps the performance up throughout this series, throughout this game at the very least, it's going to be huge for CyberSwipe. She is getting it done. She is core controlling all over the top side. And the once stable pick of Era from A is kind of getting outclassed here, it feels like.
100% agreed. Just doesn't have the X factor as well on what a lot of people consider to be the best player on Polar Coretex. But even though that hasn't been the case so far this series, where Name Chaotic is really taking the spotlight, in the situation where Name Chaotic's not able to put through, A's not going to have the tool set in order to finish the fight, you know, so to speak, from this team. As a flip comes through right now defensively, Name Chaotic an opportunity, but this Juno pick really is so effective at shutting down anything that he wants to do in front of the enemy net.
Oh, it's a Sad Boys angle. The KO found Expo-chan going for the fake out. What a play by Expo-chan, keeping possession with the firewall sentry. It's Expo-chan stalling out so much time. The rebound caught by Expo. Name Chaotic now trying to be the hero, but again, the Blabo bounce going to nullify the dash punch. The Flame Flurry now active. A trying to be the hero, but dash popped away. The Slime going to deny it again. And again, the CyberSwipe team is just making it so that Polar Coretex are completely nullified.
Yeah, the code, it feels like, might have been cracked. I didn't see the vision, but this Juno pick is so effective. Name Chaotic really showing an over-reliance on dribbling, and that dribbling is what enabled him to get so many mix-up. It's what allowed him to, to really freak out Assertive in a lot of these defensive situations, but now it is being used as a critical weakness to make sure that he loses the core before he gets any sort of offensive opportunity to outplay the members of CyberSwipe.
And now Assertive playing offensively here. Got to be careful around Name Chaotic with the flip. The 2 barriers down. CyberSwipe on the back foot a little bit here, but Zoe the Witch still pressing forward. Name Chaotic looking for a KO, and the Black Hole will disrupt it. The Fool critically low now, and if they can snipe away the Kai, that could be everything here.
Oh, but the flip parry comes through. The Fool takes Zoe the Witch on and wins it out. Mono a mono. That's going to be a point here, a point on the board that importantly felt really good to score for the side of Polar Coretex.
So the Witch now rushing forward here, looking for that barrier take. Sort of on the other end. Expo Chan as well, dashing forward. Almost this flip being built up for the IME. There it is. And that's such a big threat here, especially if Assertive can dig it out of the corner. They do. They get it past A critically as Zoe the Witch keeps it, flicks it to the top side. Good save by the Fool, but that's the that's the Blazing Pace burn, and that's Expo Chan going a little bit wide. Still a barrier take. Looking for another here. The Giga Blast is good enough, and the Slime will reinforce it. But the CyberSwipe offense still continues. Zoe the Witch on the follow-up. Assertive looking for a pass, but Name Chaotic just unable to find anything so far.
Yeah, Name Chaotic, again, just being shut down before the plays can really just manifest themselves. Oh, gets a lucky shot there, unfortunately, off of a big blunder from Assertive. Now an opportunity is going to be there, and hey, make one mistake like that, even though it's NASA, it's still going to be capitalized upon. Name Chaotic finds one gap, self-created gap in the armor, and pierces right through, no problem.
And there was a bit of an awkward evade by Expo Chan as well that prevented that barrier from being saved. CyberSwipe are going to need to lock back in and figure something out here because Expo Chan's vulnerable, low meter. So the Witch has the flip and needs to cash out right now.
Yeah, it is able to do so. An open net here for the side of Polar Coretex. The Slime's a little bit crazy, maybe an overcook. Oh, but Zoe the Witch finds it. A little bit of magic being casted here on the court. 2 sets now in favor of CyberSwipe. Expo Chan, your MVP.
And Expo Chan well deserved after some flashy plays in the previous one. Gonna be having a host of awakenings to pick from here. Not quite sure what's gonna be the focus. Might be the aerials, and yeah, the dash range gonna be what she's gonna take here. And other than that, I think a relatively quiet draft here. Of course, the Monumentalist, a big factor to Castelas potentially as well. But it's gonna be the Monumentalist to try and make something happen with the NATOs. And my eyes are also on Name Chaotic, right? A little bit of size, a little bit more core control, a little bit more scoring potential here, especially against the Juno. Pretty valuable.
Yeah, fortunately, yeah, that spark being missing's gotta hurt for Expo Chan. Has to walk away with, a good consolation prize in dash range, but hate to see it. That being said, though, if they lose, this could be some awkward draft differences here for the side of Polar Coretex. So not out of the woods yet for that team, but with a goal like that, feels like they might be able to pull something out.
Yeah, especially with that additional size, Name Chaotic can play around the members of CyberSwipe a lot better, and that is leading to pretty good outcomes. Although, right now, we'll see if that can continue. Name Chaotic on a hot streak at the moment. It has to not get rushed, though, because, of course, the Polar Coretex, they're on even footing right now. They're behind in this game. They need to win a whole nother series.
Yep. Which is important, right? Keep yourself calm. Don't blow your energy just to win one game, right? It's a marathon, and well played right now. The damage is going to be put on the side of CyberSwipe. Expo Chan now taken out for now, but the power play just completely stalled out here. Name Chaotic, maybe one opportunity, actually finds it against Assertive, and we saw there actually the formula that Assertive had to deny the dribble from Name Chaotic unfortunately didn't work. He got that other opportunity, but he had to use a flip for it. So I'm wondering maybe if without those resources, would Name Chaotic really have been able to find that?
Yeah, but speaking of resources,
oh my gosh.
CyberSwipe are pretty low on them. A big KO by Expo Chan will bring the game a lot closer to being within reach, especially this set. as the Glitch Pop will secure one barrier. They're playing methodically, they're playing around, but as soon as the respawn comes in, it's going to be a lot harder, although they do manage to get both barriers in the process.
Yeah. Open net, absolutely a win, especially now that Assertive has defended it. Recovery drone going to be down, which is a little bit unfortunate. That's going to be a gone if they want to win this set. Glitch Pop, unfortunately, going to go wide, but the hit stun's going to be there. Wow! Absolutely brutal offense coming out from CYBR, just unplayable for the Fool in that situation.
And all they need is 2 more of those. Assertive has a lot of meter built up. Name Chaotic stunned away, but that's a barrier gone. A little bit of an early take there. Zoe the Witch needs to be careful. Name Chaotic in position. And the Fool following up, but a Strike War win by Zoe the Witch. Gets it past, taking so much damage, but Expo-chan now has possession. But good strikes by Polar Coretex to get it out from the Fireball Sentry. Name Chaotic feeling a bit rushed, I think. Needs to slow down a little bit and find those accurate plays he was before.
Yeah, definitely feels like the brawler of Polar Coretex losing his cool a little bit now that his code has been kind of cracked a little bit, and we'll see. These dribbles are coming through. The flip's going to be there. Actually finds it off the greed of Assertive, but it might not mean anything. The goalie barrier is going to go down. It's going to be an open net. Dioni's Blade's going to be here as well. It's going to be up to A to defend this situation, and almost field goals the 2 defensive members of Polar Coretex, but it's going to be saved for now. Assertive here with the flip. It's going to be very comfortable here on defense unless Name Chaotic finds some magic, and he does! Assertive just a little bit too greedy, and Name Chaotic calls her out on it. That's going to be a set taken right under the noses, it feels like, of CYBR. Name Chaotic is going to be the one here to do it, and Name Chaotic is going to be the one to deny that spark. Just such an unfortunate situation all around for CYBR.
Oh, and just so much greed from all of the members of CYBR, it feels like. All of them just tried to get a little bit too immediate on the play, from Expo-chan in the midfield to Assertive, trying to save that flip to use on offense. But there's the secret. There's the dark technology on the ejectless Juno. There's the missile propulsion. And I'm excited for this one because it's going to make it so much harder for the Fool to play the game.
You know what? Actually, dive into that because you're a bit of a Pauldron's missile propulsion Juno specialist, if I recall correctly. Please run me through this because I think that pick is really interesting.
Okay, well, look at what just hit A there. Like, these slimes have infinite range, okay? Assertive is going to be primarying, and they're going to be on the other side of the map. On the other side, though, her teammates are going to have to back her up quite a bit because this pick is so unreliable on the defense.
And we're already seeing that there. Name Chaotic just finds the goal right there, 20 seconds into the point. Polar Coretex absolutely not out of it yet, and with that a little bit of extra movement speed from the Spark of Leadership, obviously not too much post its nerf, but it's something. And on top of that, it is a little bit more power from the bulk up and the Spark itself. So a very good deny, if I had to say so myself. All 3 members here at CYBR say, wow, what an absolute mosh pit of a play. But it's going to be CYBR the ones to the advantage here at the end of it.
Especially if they can get a little bit more pressure with these lines, but it requires a lot of prediction. I'm not sure if that's what I would have bet on in Grand Finals reset of the North American Strikers Academy. And what A is betting on is something a lot more reliable. It's the Era pick that's worked for them all throughout this playoffs, especially today. Expo-chan to Zoe the Witch, looking for the passing play, going a little bit fancy on the flick, trying to find the barrier take, unable to do so. The defense from the Fool, and A is flawless right now as Name Chaotic slowly approaches. A not quite in position to save it there, almost. Glitch Pop towards the center. Zoe the Witch has got to be careful here, cashing out on the flip, but not getting the barrier. Everything's going slightly wrong for CYBR right now.
Yeah, and slightly wrong is just enough for catastrophic failures to happen. Overtime gonna hit here. Zoe the Witch trying to get the core out, but the team player is just so scary. Almost finds the goalie barrier off of some amazing Zamtaro mechanics, but not able to do that right now. Name Chaotic has to rotate back here defensively. The dribblers are coming through. The Shaolin kick, not enough. The Fool looking very low right now. It's going to be an open net. It's going to be up to Name Chaotic right now. He has to make this play happen, but isn't going to get the opportunity. A needs to send the core forward to his brawler. It's just a knife's edge right now all around. The Fool's going to be down. The Glitch Pop is there maybe, but no, the team player core speed is what's going to secure it there. A not going to be fast enough. Going to be Zoe the Witch taking the point. A razor's edge of a situation for both teams, but it's going to be CYBR taking a critical advantage.
Yeah, and also CYBR, if they can play the kickoff well, they can create such an overwhelming advantage with the comp they have. So right now it's been a little bit less quick, and the Fool has been defending quite well. And Name Chaotic gets one barrier, gets two barriers, one on the other end, unfortunately. If they can find a lot of pressure on Name Chaotic, it could be huge, but Name Chaotic getting in there, and Assertive's attempt to save, not quite good enough. Has the flip now, but it's probably going to have to be used on defense.
100% agreed. Again, like you mentioned, that Juno with missile repulsion so unreliable on the defense, but no. Or the Fool with a miss strike, unfortunately, means that's going to be an open net for both teams. Zoe the Witch so dangerous with this flip right now. It's going to go into her possession. The flick's going to be there. The Oni's Blade comes through to keep core possession. The speed is there. Oh, that's so the Fool's taken out. I mean, what an amazing back and forth play from CyberSwipe. Some amazing mix-up prowess here, showing us that Name Chaotic is not the only mastermind here in this play. An amazing play from CyberSwipe might take us here to game number 2.
Yeah, Assertive now has the flip available, will completely nullify Name Chaotic's push. And Zoe the Witch now looking for the Strike War wins, looking for the follow-ups. The Slimes are there, and the barriers are not taken. A brilliant defense by Polar Coretex and a misstrike by Assertive. The barriers go down, and we're probably headed to a 0.5 here unless Zoe the Witch can create a miracle. But the saves are good. Only one barrier falling here. A flip by Expo Chan up to the top side, but the Fool will have no problems defending it, and the jump is not long enough. Polar Coretex one goal away from keeping this game alive.
Is Name Chaotic a strike genius? I mean, called out like the angle of the CyberSwipe wasn't enough as well. Found the perfect field goal position to take that one out. But unfortunately going to be KO, not the survivability genius that we know from other players. And this is now a huge opportunity for the side of CyberSwipe.
Especially if they can get it through to find this barrier take, but A is helping defend so well, and the Fool is not taking enough damage for CyberSwipe to get the KO win condition in. Giga Blast forward, Zoe the Witch low, the recovery drone in danger, and the evade forced to be used here. Nothing explosive from CyberSwipe yet in this point, it feels like, and they need something big. They need to find the barrier soon, or else Expo Chan's going to be in a lot of trouble.
Agreed. Just low on resources all around for the midfielder. The flip's going to be there. It needs to be defended. The barrage is not going to be enough. Zoe the Witch, an opportunity. The NATO, though, is going to guarantee that clear out. Name Chaotic finds it, though. Going to be an open net for both teams on a side that could, at this point, could determine the entire series. The glitch pop from Expo Chan is there. Not going to find the magic. The flick's not going to be enough. Name Chaotic with a breakaway has the flip. 1v1, 1v3. He does it. He does it 1v3 against CyberSwipe. And he clears the set for Polar Coretex. They're going to a set number 5. They're keeping their hopes in this game alive. Name Chaotic again comes through for Polar Coretex.
He does it yet again, and they can deny hot shot from the Juno. They can deny 1-2 punch, but he's going to go for the spark here, the third spark, to deny it away and take it for himself. But that does mean that 1-2 punch will fall to the Juno or the Aimi here, and the Stinger as well, potential damage win condition. This is still looking pretty good for CyberSwipe in this draft.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, how fortunate do you have to be to get hot shot and 1-2 punch on this draft this late into the game for your Juno? Core speed is going to be incredibly scary here. Like you mentioned, though, 3 sparks on the Juliet, but crucially, no spark of power, which means that dash punch opportunities, all the damage that Name Chaotic would be able to do with maybe any other spark setup build, he isn't going to be able to. So he's going to be able to run fast, but he's not going to be able to punch hard, and that could potentially mean a huge difference where you have things like the Adrenaline Rush on the Zentaro flying around, where KO can really matter. But right now, we've got an open net for the side of Polar Coretex, but it's going to be A here on the defense, able to save it.
Name Chaotic building up so much meter now. The missile prop Slime's not going to go in the direction that Assertive wants, but Name Chaotic can't control the core there either. Flip available, Expo Chan up to Zoe the Witch, who holds the core with the slice and dice, trying to find an opportunity here, but the Fool using the mobility perfectly into NATO, going to take out, but Zoe the Witch sends the core away, baits out the flip from A, and now it's going to come down to whether they can make a hero shot.
Oh, the Slime despawning at just the worst time for CyberSwipe. Name Chaotic, another breakaway, finds the angle here, gets Assertive, finds the stagger onto Zoe the Witch. The recovery drone going to be down now. Importantly, the overtime's here, team player now going to be a very big factor for every team. The flip's going to come through for the Fool. Name Chaotic not able to get the core. The Slime's there, though. It's just so quick. It's so fast. It's going to be able to be a KO onto the Fool. Expo Chan finds it. Going to be a point stolen for the side of CyberSwipe. They're going to be the ones pulling away.
You got to watch out for the CyberSwipes here if you're the Fool. You're getting KO'd at the worst possible moment. 2 goals away from CyberSwipe, and they have the X factor, right? Polar Coretex need to find a play where Name Chaotic gets in there, but the Cyber Swipe team could just get in there at any moment.
Yeah, they've got so much mobility. No, the Fool unfortunately doesn't react to the strike, the Cyber Swipe strike from Expo Chan again. And just as soon as it started, it really feels like the magic of Polar Coretex is coming to a close. This potentially could be a stomp of a final set to end an otherwise very close game.
Yeah, Zoe the Witch with flip available. Assertive firing slimes from the other side of the map here. The Fool looking for a solo play, but not quite enough to get past the Juno. Zoe the Witch low, though. If they can get this Centauro pressured at the right time, they could be huge, but Assertive sends it around. Name Chaotic flip available. Looking to try and take it, but the Glitch Pop will save it, and Assertive will strike it away. They find the KO, they find the barrier, and Polar Coretex are in position now and will keep this game alive.
Yeah, well played. Good offense. Damage pressure as well, utilized perfectly, so efficiently in that play, making sure that Zoe the Witch didn't feel like she was unsafe enough to burn her flip defensively. That's going to be a big windfall for Polar Coretex, but oh my god, Zoe the Witch and Expo Chan are just out for blood here on A, and that so far has been that, you know, the unassuming linchpin that has been keeping this team together. Name Chaotic off the back of that dash punch though might get an open net here. Not a strike war win though, which would have been so crucial, as it's going to be Cyber Swipe, another opportunity for them, but no. Center, a little bit awkward of a pass means that it's going to be an offensive play for Polar Coretex. Yeah, again, Name Chaotic has his cooldowns. He has the opportunity. The dribble's going to come through. No, the shell lid kick just off. Not going to be able to find it. Cyber Swipe, an opportunity to score.
Yeah, Name Chaotic still keeping possession up though and has the flip available. If they can get it to him one last time, that could be the game evened up here. Zoe the Witch knockback canceled, still staying alive, and Name Chaotic in position but doesn't choose to flip there. Flip from Zoe the Witch will take the barrier, but Name Chaotic now in position, but the slime is right in his path, and now Cyber Swipe. All it takes is one good slime, one good Cyber Swipe, one good glitch pop. Name Chaotic in position. It's the beam. No way in grand finals. Assertive can't get past the Era Beam of all things.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so much pressure. Your heart has to be beating at 190 beats per second. Something's got to give, and unfortunately right there, it was Assertive in such a crucial moment. Set 5.5 here on game number 1, grand finals reset. The fate of your season gonna be on the line. Name Chaotic able to get the first barrier, but needs to be able to find the second here. The slime is going to help defend. The beam's going to be here on Zoe the Witch. Not going to be able to win the strike war as Expo Chan almost finds a KO. It's going to be up to the Fool though, not to get double buried here. The barrage comes through. The defense is there for Polar Coretex, but it's not over yet. The tornado is going to be there. Strike war won by Name Chaotic. Name Chaotic has an opportunity to end the whole thing, but Expo Chan's flip is the one thing that they have to get through, and there it is. The flip comes through, an open net for both teams. The Fool now has to defend. Name Chaotic, his turn with a flip. It's going to be his time to shine. He finds it. He finds the KO onto Assertive. It's set 5.5, and the comeback is made for Polar Coretex. They're going to be the ones looking to lead the grand finals reset, and Name Chaotic keeps the dream alive.
You know, if this was fiction, it would be bashed for being too unrealistic. Like, Name Chaotic doing this again and again in this grand finals, like, come on, man, that's too much of a power fantasy. What are you talking about?
10+2. He scored 10+2. I mean, this guy has scored 30 goals in the last, this series and the 30 goals he scored in the last 3 games. I mean, that has got to be insane. Name Chaotic felt like he was neutralized for the first 2/3 of that game. It really felt like he wasn't able to do anything. It felt like for a second that Cyber Swipe found the answer. They found their golden key to crack the code, and Name Chaotic comes back. He finds some other opportunity. I don't know how he found it, whether it be from himself or the help from his team, but they managed to pull through. Name Chaotic again finds himself with an insane scoreline, an insane goal, and Polar Coretex is looking to take the North American Strikers Academy for themselves.
What a performance. And it just feels inevitable, right? Whenever the core drifts to him. And of course, A, locking it down to midfield, especially in this game, right? If that Era Beam goal didn't happen, that last goal doesn't happen either.
Yeah. 100%. It was just, again, one small mistake, but the competition is just that close to any crack, any pressure getting to you is going to be enough to spiral the game out of control. And on the flip side, I've got to be thinking Expo Chan, an amazing play, 6+2 herself in that game as the midfielder, right? Most redirects in the game, playing phenomenally out of her mind. And I think the big question is, how is she going to take this loss? Is she going to regroup? Is she going to come back better than forever? Is she going to have a series to match what Name Chaotic is doing right now? Or is Polar Coretex going to continue the warpath that they've been on so far?
We'll see what happens here. The next map is Gates of Obscura, and that is a very, very volatile map to the point where that's a little scary if you're both teams heading into it.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. It really does feel like anything can happen. And we saw last week, right, that Gates game that HMG had against Flying Blobos. So many plays could come just from being aware of the portals, just being aware of what can happen. And it's going to be up, I think, to both Zoe the Witch and Name Chaotic to have that malleability to be able to survive whatever hijinks is going to happen here in this game number 2, because again, I mean, all the marbles are down, all the chips are on the table, everything is on the things, you've got to pull it together. You've got to keep it together. You've got to keep the excitement, right? You cannot let despair overcome you. You cannot get too excited, because again, we saw at the end of that previous game, the pressure got too assertive and it spiraled out of control just off of one small slip up. So if you do not play amazing, if you don't play out of your mind in these next few games, it's going to be over. And it's going to be up to these players to keep it together, to keep the machine going and rebuilding whatever they're, as their car falls apart, just putting the parts back on and steaming along. And we'll see what they're able to do here in game number 2.
Yep, we are heading into the last one here. And it's going to be quite interesting to see how this one goes. It's Gates of Obscura, it's Super Surge, Deadeye, start.
Oh, what's with Deadeye starts today? I feel like we've seen a lot of those. I feel like they've been big, and what immediately comes to mind, right? The Luna. But the Luna is not a pick that you really want to see on Gates of Obscura, is it? I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, it's a little bit awkward. It's definitely pickable, though, so I wouldn't be questioning it too much as it shows up. Device going to be taken off, not being allowed to be played here, which I do like, that they've made sure that the KO doesn't come through in that manner. And Polar Coretex going to say that we're impressed by the IME, and we would rather not fight against it here.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, Expo Chan, it feels like she's been building her momentum quietly, even though she hasn't been able to win the games. She has been kind of ramping up, and it feels like it could explode at any moment, and just not going to get that opportunity now with that IME ban away. On the flip side, though, that leaves that Drakkar open, right? That leaves that Luna open, and these have been problems for Polar Coretex before, so I wonder if that's just going to get slammed 2-3, because that really could just be what happens here. Zoe is the Witch, Drakkar has not really had an answer found to it, even though they won games. I feel like they won by circumnavigating the issue rather than going through it. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen here. And there it is. The Luna going to be picked up on the Deadeye start. Assertive looked really, really good on it in the previous series. And it's no wonder that she's going to bring it out again.
Yep. We are also looking at the Drakkar. Yeah, like you mentioned. This time, though, the Drakkar is on Polar Coretex's side.
Huh. And yeah, I think that's going to go in the hands of A, one of the very few midfield Drakkar pilots that it feels like left in the NAS. But I almost feel like it's not being picked on the merits of the pick. It's being picked to deny it from Zoe the Witch. It really feels like that might just be your answer. And with the blue side being picked up by Cyberswipe, they do have to they do have to put themselves in a situation where they do have to give up one of those power picks for them. On the flip side, Name Chaotic, just going right back to it. I mean, what else would you be picking after a game that great? I mean, you could pick the X, I guess, because you also had that great of a game earlier today. But I totally understand the comfort. I totally understand why he'd pick it no matter what. And you know what? He's a person that likes dash range. He picked the aerials on Juliet over the Stinger in a previous game. So this is something that he's probably going to be very fine on.
Yep. We shall see how it goes here. This could be the final game, but I do think that when it's all on the line, once again, with the Fool on Kai, Polar Coretex just looks so comfortable. Name Chaotix on the Juliet again. He has looked so good on it. And I think they have what it takes to be a championship winning team.
100%. I mean, both of these teams, right? They are standing above the competition. They took out seed 1, they took out seed 2, and they took out everyone else that dared try to challenge them. And right now, it is just these two teams left standing. We're going to be entering game very soon. It looks like, as I feel like with damage like this, it really just feels like we haven't been able to escape damage all day. But on the flip side, someone who has been able to escape damage all day, named Chaotic, he's been finding it despite all that damage pressure put on him. Same could be said for A and Zoro as well. So Polar Coretex, it feels like they're just going to be continuing to play their style here into that damage, and so far they've been proven right each time.
Oh, I pressed the button a little early there. But yeah, it's going to be interesting, especially because we have the Rune Luna combination. We have the Rasmus to add some stability for CyberSwipe. But the question is, can they stop Name Chaotic? Name Chaotic has been everything for this Polar Coretex roster, and they have not found an answer on the defensive end.
They haven't. They really, really haven't. And if I were assertive, I'd be scared out of my mind. I'd be quaking in my boots right now, because this is a man who I have not seen Name Chaotic play this good ever. It like something unlocked in him today. Like something ferocious has awakened in this man, and he is here to play. Oh my god, that was a raw super surge delayed dash punch to find a KO in the first 10 seconds of this game. Tell me that this man is not here to win.
Well, I don't think anyone wants to tell you that he's not here to win, bro.
That's true. That's true, actually, yeah.
And then A shows up out of the invis, finds the shot, the follow-up off Name Chaotic, creating so much chaos. That's the first point already gone here. And poor Cortex, they just look so comfortable.
They do. I mean, you gotta feel confident. Oh, the Rod P opener comes out for the full. A double barrier found off of one man. And it's just, CyberSwipe, a good scramble, but a scramble nonetheless. They're not out of the woods yet. The defensive play still comes through. A little bit of a portal mishap, though, from A is going to unfortunately lose them their possession here. Assertive is able to not snipe away one barrier. An opportunity maybe for Zoe the Witch, though. Is able to find one, but it's a 2v1 situation for Assertive. Assertive, though, with the assistance of the bandage, is able to clear it out. But A, again, possession of the core goes to Expo Chan. The shotgun's there to interrupt Zoe the Witch's momentum, but they're still able to get the offense going regardless. Pendulum swing's going to be there and not going to be able to find too much, but the Strike War pillar is going to be enough. The flip comes through. Name Chaotic is ready for it. The pillar shenanigans gets taken by Polar Coretex, and Assertive, unfortunately, not even able to use the...
Yeah, very, very well timed by Name Chaotic there. And he's just such a disruptive player. It just forces the game to be about him in a lot of these offensive situations. And these barriers, there's a lot of, I guess, unforced barrier drops coming out from CyberSwipe, and that's part of Gates of Obscura, right? But the Fool just gets blown up. The Fool is out of the net. The Fool's being knocked back over and over, and he's dead.
Yeah, Assertive with a beautiful bounce to get that goal as well. Well played there, locking back in there, if just for a second. And one thing to mention, this is, I forgot to mention, but CyberSwipe, once known, right, as the weekly royalties, right, but always faltered whenever pressure got to them, and that's been a title that they've been really fighting so far this season. But I wonder, in a situation this intense, if kind of these old curses are going to come back to strike them. I can't help but wonder that, as we see some of these unforced errors that you mentioned, as the Fool, though, going to have to actually make a miraculous save, but he's not going to be out of the woods yet.
Yeah. And Name Chaotic building up a lot of meter here. As long as Polar Coretex can hold, that will be huge. As the Fool is maintaining possession, Name Chaotic finds the barrier, looking for the conversion here. Expo Chan so low, but Zoe the Witch now going for an individual play. The barrage is good enough. And again, the Fool, he made his name on Kai, and he's looking so practiced on it.
Yeah, and right now he's going to have to use that practice again. The defense here has to survive the mix-up that Expo Chan can do on the rune, but instead electing to just get the KO here, which is going to be valuable. Assertive, ooh, the boost forward puts the core in just the wrong spot for the Fool, and that's going to be an own goalless style.
A little bit stylish, a little bit of an own goal, but you know, if you're the Fool, it's time for both sides of the coin. And
that's true.
Expo Chan building up a lot of meter here. A trying to help defend, but it's a little bit awkward in this corner. I think Expo-chan's getting a lot more comfortable on the rune as time goes on, and all of CYBR are warming up on gates as it goes on.
Yeah, already feeling so good. Looks a lot better, even though we are at a 0.5. This is a critical 0.5. Again, just one potential set closer to the end of the line for CYBR. They're going to have to pull through here, and that they are doing. An open net now for the side of CYBR.
Name Chaotic looking for an opening here, but Assertive's not giving. Wait, Expo-chan not going to win the strike war there, and it's going to be huge as Zoe the Witch pulls it away. Good flip from the Fool to nullify any potential offense. And Name Chaotic and a dash punch it through, not going to be enough here. The pillar from Expo is good. They're trying to deny anything on the defense, but it's still a little awkward. It's still advancing slowly, and Expo in a good spot.
Yeah. Oh no! Oh, almost an own goal there, but the flip from Zoe the Witch is going to be there. But now she has no stagger. She has to score right now, or she can face a bit of a KO penalty. Oh! Expo-chan, though. Oh my gosh. A bit of a work of art there on that goal right there. And, I mean, woof, they're here to play.
Yeah, bit of a lead here for CYBR, and that's going to be huge as this draft approaches. I'm eyes on Team Player because on a lot of those points, Team Player has been a bit of a constant in today's playoffs, and that's going to be taken by the Fool on second pick. That's going to be pretty game warping, I think, even though there's a lot of damage being picked up by CYBR.
Yeah, and I wonder what... Oh, it looks like it's going to be a specialized training. No, an orb rep... I mean, Name Chaotic surprises me again and again.
Hey.
I would click this... Yeah, I mean, I'm not down. Nope, I'm not down.
No, Name Chaotic back in the day, that guy used to be the #1 damage hater. That guy used to be the #1 most killable brawler of all time. A brawler so killable that... Okay, well... Caster's Blessing on CYBR. A brawler so killable that he put the old Bozo Bunch to shame. But now he's no longer the case, but I think a little bit of that's still showing in some of the drafts.
Yeah, definitely. I would pick Spectrating there every time, but you know what? Name Chaotic, who am I to doubt the man of the hour? He's going to be able to be on defense right now. He is able to get to clear at the loss of one barrier, maybe looking to get another one here with the assistance of the Fool. Is looking to use that Blazing Pace effectively. A is going to be back up as well. The shotgun empowered by the aerials is going to be a bit of a hassle to deal with if you are a CYBR. The banish comes through, but the predictive barrage is going to be there and not going to be enough to save it though. And Name Chaotic now 1v1. Nope, 1v2. Surprise! Drakkar comes through and Expo-chan with the flip, but it's going to be up to Name Chaotic to make sure that that future does not happen. But unfortunately, the worst has come to pass. But Fool takes the 50-50 on the barrage, is able to find it. It's going to be up to A and Name Chaotic, and they put it in every time. They're going to be the ones to take that point, even though CYBR tried so hard. They had it. Fool was able to make that call out, and that's going to lead them to take that point. Again, this is a series of pixels.
This is a big chunk of energy here for the Polar Coretex as well. I almost called them the Fools, saying the Fool too often, I think. But yeah, they have a lot of energy here. Name Chaotic walks out of the crater, importantly, but the barrier take by Zoe the Witch is calm and collected. CYBR have shown a new face in this one, forcing out a flip, trying to win the strike war, but A will clear it away. And once again, the Polar offense stalls a little bit.
That it is. A, though, able to find a 1v2 strike shotgun here, and that is something that can happen against the Luna. Name Chaotic with the flip. A almost taken out raw by the Crater Maker there, but Zoe the Witch gonna have to be flipped away. An amazing angle by the Fool, and now Name Chaotic an opportunity to score, but no, the punch is just not fast enough. The Shaolin dash through the portal to maybe find possession again. Unfortunately, not gonna happen, but the Fool, the defense on the Fool delivers right now. Name Chaotic living away to get the enemy's orbs, but that means it's just gonna be a clean 2v2 situation, but the clear is actually gonna be found here. Overtime now, Name Chaotic an opportunity. No! The Shaolin kick is not enough! Name Chaotic flies too close to the sun, and he is going to be burned. CYBR take that one. They're going to take Name Chaotic's corpse, and they are going to cook with it. That's going to be a point for CYBR.
Shades of Zentaro there on Name Chaotic. Trying to find an opportunity, unfortunately. Energy erased and everything, not working out. But on the bright side, he is still confidently playing up I will say, though, I think Zoe the Witch has gotten a lot more assertive in this last game, playing alone, playing through the strengths of the Rasmus. Slowed down by Expo by accident there, but playing to the strengths of the core control brawler here.
Absolutely, and that is something that can answer what the Fool is trying to do. And in situations too, right? In the previous games, Zoe the Witch had killed the Fool solo in a lot of situations, but wasn't able to convert off of it. So it makes sense to get that style going. But on the flip side, Expo Chan, unfortunately, just going to die, and that's going to be a power play situation. One going to be down for it. Name Counting not able to win the strike war like we've seen before. Assertive holds strong for now. Expo Chan going to be here on the respawn to cover the top side. The strike shotgun's there, but A here with the flip might be able to get it done. The Crater Maker going to create so much damage, but not going to put them out of the woods. What a beautiful Molten Bolt to come through to take that point.
What a perfect angle from A, maintaining the energy as well, and they have 2 flips coming up. There's the Witch as well, and it's all going to come down to the possession. The flip burned immediately by Assertive's combo, though. Good on A to knock a KO and to just cash it out there, but even better from CYBR to nullify that.
Yeah, flip going to come through from Zoe the Witch. Whoa, bit of a crazy mix-up from the pillar. Oh no, the dash is going to whiff though, and this is going to be named Chaotic. Almost able to get the last goalie barrier here, and as the KO is found by the pillar, this is a 2v1 situation. The Fool needs to hold. No, not able to do it. The rotation from named Chaotic not going to be back in time, and CYBR once again sending us to another 0.5 set.
It's coming down to this here. We'll see how they do, but the energy situation a lot worse for Polar Coretex than it was before. A's got to get a lot done here. The Crater going to come in, but the elusive timing is good. Name Chaotic actually taking the brunt of the pressure, but A's shotguns are beating CYBR right now. A good strike war against the Flame Flurry to stop it, but A is just rampaging.
Oh, what a pillar, though, interrupts the offensive play before Polar Coretex could run away with it. Good dash here by Assertive as well. Is able to snap that final one, but named Chaotic waits with open arms for the dimer from the Fool. Is able to get it. The Shaolin kick going to be what ends this set here. Polar Coretex going to be on the board in game number 2.
A first pick here, and can pick up the missile propulsion, can pick up the heavy impact, but it's probably just going to be the missile prop to continue doing what they're doing right now. My eyes are also on the Adrenaline Rush, though, as a potential angle of attack, maybe for CYBR if they're going to focus on the KOs a lot more here.
No, Timeless Creator picked up instead of choosing that core control disc for Rune. On the flip side, though, missile propulsion, right? The slugs are locked and loaded for this Drakkar right on top of the aerials. So these projectile range, which is already proven troublesome for the side of CYBR, has just been turbocharged. This is a bit scary. And on the flip side, Ad Rush falling all the way down to Juliet, but I guess that's what you could do against named Chaotic. He doesn't go for those KOs anyways.
Well, maybe things will change here, and just because he's KO averse doesn't mean he's KO allergic, as named Chaotic is lurking. And don't tell a certain new commentator, a brawler affiliated with a certain BB, about Ad Rush on 6, because that's quite the spot to be in. That's quite the spot for Assertive to be in, as named Chaotic has the Flame Flurry.
Yeah, importantly, no value off of the Ad Rush. Is this a Dead Awakening? I'm not quite sure.
No, wait a second. 1 second flat cooldown reduction.
I know. Don't worry. It's still going to be useful, obviously, especially on Juliet, where you keep those cooldowns as much as possible. It's good, even though the KOs aren't coming through, even though Ad Rush at 6 is a bit crazy to see. It is going to come through for it named Chaotic. But on the flip side, CYBR may be wishing they had Ad Rush right now, taken low off of an amazing Crater Maker.
And that's going to be the KO secured here. Named Chaotic trying to help on the defense will interrupt Expo Chan's pass and stall out so much time. The Flame Flurry good as well, the flip available, and the Fool will strike it away here. Expo Chan with the pillar. A now back, but a great angle from Expo around everyone's hitboxes, and the game's tied up.
Yeah, well played, Expo, locking in again the quiet star player right now from the side of CYBR. It really feels like she is the pillar for their roster right now, no pun intended. Zoe the Witch, though, no slouch on her own, has absolutely pulled off magic so far this series. But speaking of magic, named Chaotic manages to find one again. The Giga Blast damage is there. Named Chaotic going to be banished away, though, and that means a flip has to be used defensively. Oh, not the angle you want to see, though. with that sort of core speed. Chaotic going to be knocked off the pitch. Expo Chan, 1v1 situation, isn't going to find it, but the opportunity has not ended yet. Bit of a portal misplay, it feels like, giving it into the hands of A and the Fool. This buys time for Chaotic to come through, but ooh, the whammy hit stun. Just perfect. Knocks away the Fool before he could do anything.
Yeah, very, very critical to find the goal, and CYBR they're only one game behind, right? Even though they lost the previous series, it is the Grand Finals reset where everything is back to even. Zoe the Witch looking confident, pressing forward, but unable to find a barrier that time. They get some damage onto Chaotic, who has to be very careful here.
Yeah, playing on a razor's edge. A good heads-up dodge. The Crater Maker is going to be used defensively, and it's going to pay off, but now he's going to have to blow the flip. Oh no, actually takes the Strike War, preserves her flip. And that means this is potentially a huge opportunity for the side of CYBR. They've got a massive resource advantage to play right now, but it's going to have to be used defensively. This goalie barrier is not going to go down as well. And the barrage means that it's going to be back to square one for CYBR here on the offense.
They're looking for an opening. The Fool up to the top side. And the pillar is great from Expo Chan for the other team, unfortunately. As Chaotic approaches the Fool with the flip. The banish coming out to nullify it completely. And that's a huge save. Chaotic looking for the opening. Assertive low. But CYBR get out of there alive.
Yeah, big win for CYBR, but they're not out of the woods yet. Oh, the portal comes through. A finds the angle. He's going to be bringing us to another 0.5 set. It feels like these two teams are just deadlocked in a sprint.
Yep. We'll see. At this point means so much here. It changes the entire tone of the series to CYBR having a good angle to come back or a POLR closing it out. And right now, CYBR looking confident in the corner. The Timeless Pillar is getting so much value, but Chaotic dashes in, saves it out of the edge, but that's a lot of cooldowns burned.
Yeah, and unfortunately, all for naught too. An open net, a goal off of the banish of Expo Chan. A little bit of a rune banish play, as we like to call them. Is able to find that goal. CYBR now going to be finding themselves with a critical advantage now in game number 2.
Yep, and you have a lot more angles to core control here, right? Especially with the hotshot coming up, the twin drive for the Luna, perhaps. And stacks on stacks for the relatively mobile rune. Going to be huge. The twin drive denied away by the Fool. Pretty intelligent drafting as the hotshots picked up. A great awakening for the Luna on a lot of those rockets that are getting value here. And at the end, though, another spark being picked up here. It does feel like more often than not, the name Chaotic's being forced on spark duty.
Let's be clear. Let's be clear. He was 6th pick. He has a Adrenaline Rush Super Surge. Had the opportunity to pick Spectrating, and he didn't. He picked that over Prize Fighter. I don't know. I mean, Name Chaotic, averse, allergic. It's, I don't know. I'm a little bit scared. I'm just a little bit scared to see that draft go through.
Yeah. He needs to find something here. But the Prize Fighter definitely could have been a crazy combination with the Adrenaline Rush, going for a little bit too much stability. It's like when you're picking the top option after a race win in Uma Musume. You're capping too low, bro.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's like, actually. Oh, but dang it, Zoro failed his training. He's dead. He died, moved down, and Zoe the Witch gonna be able to open the goalie barriers here, pass through the portal. Unfortunately, Name Chaotic gonna be waiting in the wings. Zoe the Witch going to have to put this one in. A's able to do it with a whiplash. Is able to find it, and CYBR able to push their advantage a little bit more here as they get the first point in the set.
Yeah, Name Chaotic going to build up a lot of meter through it all, but the same can be said about the entire team of CYBR. And those pillars from Expo Chan have been so valuable.
Oh my God.
Those timeless pillars just repeating over and over, and I'm not sure if Polar Coretex have an easy answer to that.
Yeah, they absolutely do not. There's nothing in their kit that allows them to stall at the core. No Dubu, no defensive goalies. Just have to deal with it with maybe barrage and a shotgun. And that's just not a lot. But on the flip side, the aggression's there. A, forced to be on defensive duties, but the defensive plays are there. Name Chaotic sent right back into the right situation only to be KO'd. Power play for CYBR here is sent into the top side. Zoe the Witch, hook for good measure, just to guide it in. 2-0 here on a final set, potentially for CyberSwipe. They're looking to take us to a game number 3 of Grand's Resets.
This could be making us head to a final game here, but Name Chaotic has other plans. 2 barriers down in an instant. The Flame Flurry looking for the goal now, but A can't quite get the strike, and Expo Chan setting up here. The Crater, the Pillars, the Fool in so much trouble, but this time they will get it away, and Assertive has the hot shot to send it right back. Bit of ping pong in the midfield here, but Name Chaotic has the cooldowns back by now. One good opportunity, and the Juliet can get it done.
Advantage comes through though. The Shaolin kick gonna be knocked out by Evil Chakra Energy. Unfortunately, the curse hits the Fool as well as he's blown up by demonic evil entity. Named Chaotic though, just the right place, the right time. The heavens part and the core is delivered to Named Chaotic, and he simply kicks it in.
2 more goals remaining. That was a really, really goofy point, and I think Polar thrive in the chaos here. Name Chaotic going for a dash punch, but not very close to KO at the moment. They just got to keep the core up here. They got to prevent Assertive from getting these dash plays, from Expo Chan from being able to set up these pillars, but a brilliant pillar from Expo Chan will make the save.
Yeah, Expo Chan just phenomenal on the defense here, phenomenal on the offense as well. Just so much headache, so many headaches for Polar Coretex to deal with. Now Zoe the Witch, though, able to take advantage of the opportunity given to her by her midfielder, and oh my god, CyberSwipe have done it. They've taken a game off of Polar Coretex. They have done so in style, and they have brought us to game number 3 on the Grand Finals reset.
Guys? Okay. The game was frozen for a bit, and I thought my PC was blue screening, and then we're back. We're here. Yeah, okay. So that was huge, and a lot of that was off the back of the Expo Chan rune, right? As soon as you got Timeless Creator, the corner plays were just impossible for Polar Coretex to deal with. They just had no answers.
Yeah. Hey, on top of that, right, even when they were able to just outplay Expo Chan, Zoe the Witch came through, was able to convert a lot on the Fool, way more than I think we've seen in any other game so far this series. Zoe the Witch definitely feeling good after that game, got through the Fool in plenty of situations, and on top of that, Assertive, 31,000 damage, 10k more than anyone in the enemy team, was able to provide almost solo damage pressure in a lot of those situations to make sure that A wasn't able to play his game. I really feel like that that A was the target of a lot of the focus fire that CyberSwipe brought out, and actually did end up working. So in that situation, I'm interested to see what they're going to do in game number 3. This is the first time that CyberSwipe took the damage start and won, even though it didn't really feel like a damage victory. Really felt like a core control victory off of the things like you mentioned, like the Timeless Rune and things like that. So we'll see what they do in game number 3. Again, all the marbles are going to be out on the table here to play, and it's going to be up to CyberSwipe or Polar Coretex to play better on the day, because this is it. This is your season right here.
It all comes down to best of 1 on Night Market.
Ooh.
It's gonna be quite interesting to see what the Awakening starts are. We've seen a lot of damage today, but both teams not hyper optimizing their damage compositions. They're here to strike better, and it's all gonna come down to the next map.
Yep. Absolutely agreed. And one person to put your eyes on this game, Name Chaotic. The start of the Name Chaotic miracle happened on that X and Night Market, and it's going to end on Night Market. I'm going to see what happens out of this guy. What? I heard you laughing.
No, I saw the start. I saw the start. It's
What's
Explosive Entrance Prize Fighter.
All good. All good. Hey, you know what, CyberSwipe? If you don't win and you have these damage starts, what can I say? Maybe you're just not a damage team. That's okay, you know? We've just, yeah. I saw earlier someone said like we had some criminal awakening starts so far, and again, the drafting site is at large right now, just finding so many things, and we're finding it. But I am thinking about it. That's a Dash Awakening. That is a Dash Awakening, and there are a lot of characters that benefit from it. Namely, thinking of one man specifically, a Juliet could maybe take advantage of this.
I really hope we see some prize fighters, because I think it's a little bit necessary at this point. They need to find some X Factor. They need to find some KOs, especially CyberSwipe. They need to take the cards that they've been given and turn it into a damage composition, or else it's not going to look too great.
Oh, 100% not. I'm expected to see the Vice banned. It's been banned by Cyber pretty much all series, I believe, but Polar's ban is going to be a little bit interesting, I think, on the flip side. They have a lot of things that they don't want to deal with, I think, in this draft.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of priority on Expo Chan's Aimi, I believe. Same can be said about Zentaro as a character, Juliet from Name Chaotic, or maybe the X, because it feels like Name Chaotic refuses to KO unless it's on the X.
Yeah, agreed. I really do want to see that X one more time for the road, I think, from Name Chaotic, just on what feels like the peak of his career. Just an amazing style of X that we might not see for quite some time as we're about to enter the offseason, but we'll see. We are getting into draft here.
No way! A first pick era on prize fighter start.
Hey, wait, no. This is what Polar Coretex has been doing all night. They've been doing this all night. They've just been doing it. In fact, why are we surprised? Guys, why are we surprised? We have seen that every time. They did it before. They literally did it before like 2 games ago, and they won. Let's be clear. They did 2 games before, and they won. And so it makes sense. It's tried and true. I mean, I just assume that you want to deny the Era X here, but they are guaranteed either Era X or Era Brawler here, and that's what they want to end their season on. That, hey, they want to stick to their own style. And you know what? On a team with Name Chaotic, why play KO anyways? Why go for it? Why go for it?
They first pick Era. And now they're against... Okay, well, wait a second. This is a little scary from Cyberswipe. So if they're picking Aimi and Rune, does that mean it's Rune and goalie coming out from Assertive? What? Wait.
I don't know.
This is...
I don't know.
Are they overcooking?
Maybe they're overcooking.
Is the last pick a Luna?
That would be a crazy overcook, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. It really could be anything. Oh my god. Okay.
At least we know where Erasmus is going. That one's definitely going to Zoe the Witch. Definitely. Yep.
But yeah, I mean, Hera, Julie, Dubu. I mean, just Ratatouille moment, season 1, season 2. It feels like I feel like I've seen this comp a million times. I feel like I might just have seen this comp a million times, at least 1,000. But going into it makes total sense. Damage be damned. Name Chaotic, Polar Coretex. They don't want to play it. They've got a certain play style, and they're sticking to it until the very end. And I gotta respect that. We all gotta respect that. They're here. They're here, and statistically, you're not. If you're a viewer, listening to this.
Well, I think I can think of a few reasons why a third of the chat isn't here, but
okay, you know what I mean. But also that Ivy Zap game where they picked Eric Kai, and I was like, wow, this composition sucks, and they won anyways. I don't know what to think from this team. It feels like they're pulling everything out of their, they're pulling things out of nowhere. And I don't know. I believe it could work. It'll at the very least give us a good game, if not win.
Yeah, they're going back to what worked for them, and if they can weather the storm, if they can survive the damage, I think they'll have a pretty similar time to what they had before. But taking a look at the starting awakenings, what surprises you and what doesn't?
I'm really surprised to see less prize fighter awakenings, especially from someone like the Rune. I don't know why you'd ever want to go explosive entrance on Rune, at all. Any ideas? No ideas. All right, well, in that case, yeah, I'm not sure why you'd ever want to do that. It feels like you definitely want prize fighter, especially with how easy it is to find KOs on the Rune, especially because you're going to have the damage support from the Aimi at a moment's notice. So, bit weird, but hey, they're able to score the first goal here, and be moving on with it. On the flip side, I think that the explosive entrance, obviously very good on the Aimi, but not as good without the eject button. And even though Mom Boots Aimi has been something that we've seen it from Lilybun before, now we're going to be seeing it from Assertive. It definitely has its merits, but not as strong as you'd like it to be, as an eject would be, maybe. Especially if piloted by someone who's like known for the pick, like, say for like Soren or You Already Lose or anyone like that.
Well, there is one small benefit, and it's the additional mobility, right? You do technically dash faster on your secondary, and I still would have preferred the prize fighter, I think, but there's definitely an argument for it, especially if you're agreeing with your team. We're not prize fighting it up. And the Fool, the one prize fighter taker, has stacked up.
Yeah, that he is. Ooh, a bit of an unfortunate timing there, and that might cost Polar Coretex the goal. No. Name Chaotic. Uh-oh. That's not what you want to see coming into game number 3 of Grands.
It's okay, though. He clutches up when it matters most right now. But Zoe the Witch in a good spot to keep possession. The glitch pop's good from Assertive so far. Name Chaotic dribbling, but the Pillar saying no to that. Continuing to Flame Flurry. The Banish coming out as well. In a dangerous spot for Assertive, but flipped out of the corner. And we'll see how it goes here.
Agreed. And A's right now feeling like it's struggling a little bit. Ooh, Name Chaotic almost has to play there, but Assertive with the Mom Boots actually is able to walk there in time for it. So we enter overtime here. Flip for Expo Chan's gonna look a little bit scary, but not the angle that you want. Name Chaotic now with an opportunity to dribble, but the Rune Pillar is gonna stop that before anything can really happen.
Expo Chan in a little bit of an awkward spot now, but Zoe the Witch advancing with a lot of speed here.
Oh!
Name Chaotic with a dash punch, not going to be enough. The hook gets it out. The Flame Flurry deflected, but there's the flip and so much patience from A to tie it up.
Yeah, I want to mention Name Chaotic. I don't know if that was intentional. It looked intentional, but using the Flame Flurry just to stop the core to set A up to walk up and get the flip at the goalie line, that was really well played from both of them. And that seemed like it was practiced. That looked practiced.
And the Fool looking confident, as comfortable as ever as Name Chaotic gets the dash punch. 2 barriers down already. And we're starting to see the Name Chaotic we saw before.
Yeah, after a bit of a misstrike there on point number 1, is able to get it here, get it going. Assertive, gonna feel the pressure. And again, Aimee, a character that really can crumple if the Brawler is not stopped here. Is able to do so much on the offense like we saw just there. But if the defense from the Fool holds, it might not mean anything. Flip gonna be blown though, and this presents an opportunity maybe for Cyber Swipe if Zoe the Witch is able to get her flip.
I'm building up a lot of meter here, but Name Chaotic the one trying to find an opening. The Fool continuing to rotate the core around as Zoe the Witch in a dangerous spot. A rare Name Chaotic KO coming through, and I don't think anyone expected that one.
Yeah, that didn't look like it would KO at all. Did it like hit twice? Did the dash hit twice?
Yeah.
Is that what I saw there? That's insane. Well played, Name Chaotic, for even knowing that interaction exists. I actually didn't know that.
The Fool getting caught out by Expo Chan though, and then Name Chaotic with another chance, dribbling around the glitch pop, looking for the strike war, and the 1v2 versus Cyber Swipe's defensive duo from Name Chaotic will put them up in this set.
Cha-ching! I mean, that is money in the bank. Name Chaotic absolutely going crazy here. Robbery just happening on that point. Name Chaotic, these miracle plays are starting to come out, and if it's happening at point number 2, point number 3, I mean, I think we might have a masterpiece coming to meet us here in this final game.
Yep, and there's another barrier take, clinical from the Juliet of Polar Coretex. Needs to stay alive here though, and is bounced around, but is surviving finally. Getting glitch popped off the map into the enemy net, but I think this stall is going to be a lot more approachable than it seems. The Fool looking massive in these lanes.
Yeah, just huge debut with the Pauldrons here. Has that prize fighter as well, can actually threaten you with those summer assaults, so can't even play like hard corner offense against them too. On the flip side, your Name Chaotic, an opportunity. We've seen this point happen before, but this time the curse gonna be broken just for a moment. Name Chaotic not able to find the mix-up that he needs. Zoe the Witch now finds a good strike. The flip goes through, or the Fool able to save it, but no! Assertive! Oh, what a massive blunder. You hate to see that, and that is such a crucial mistake. That's the set going the way of Polar Coretex. That's Name Chaotic getting his MVP, and that's just not what you want to see. Cyber Swipe, it feels like their past is coming to haunt them.
It's not looking good here. Name Chaotic looking so controlled, denying away the extra special from the Aimee as well here. It's a bit of an awkward draft for Cyber Swipe as the bulk of the Scary Awakenings are taken by Polar Coretex.
Yeah, this is so unfortunate too as well for Expo Chan in particular. 3 sparks forced to pick one up, at best, has a second spark on the way, which that's not what you want to see. And overall, it's just the move speed for the assertive, I think, is going to be very, very impactful. But eek! I'm saying eek if I'm looking at that draft. Ooh, Expo, though. Good play.
Yeah, pretty good here, but KO coming through. Name Chaotic down, and Polar Coretex in a little bit of a pickle here as Zoe the Witch takes both barriers. Good strikes by A, trying to find a barrier on the other end, and a lot of cooldowns being used. Good immediate strike by Fool to not get mixed up by the rune. And the Pillar gonna send it backwards here. Name Chaotic with the center gate speed, finding one barrier, looking for two with the help from A. The corner offense as well coming through, but the Pillars are good enough. And once again, it's the hook coming out. Zoe the Witch gonna miss the angle though, and that's another life here for Polar Coretex.
And Name Chaotic not able to find it. Zoro, or the Fool, I keep saying Zoro, the Fool is going to be the one here tasked with defense. The Flame Flurry is going to be there. A flip for Name Chaotic as well. Now comes to the world, is able to get that final last barrier. Ooh, the Pillar from Expo Chan, so clutch. Takes that point before it gets too ugly.
Yeah, a bit of explosive entrance value on the secondary there, stealing it away from the Fool. But a lot of meter on Polar Coretex. They've been in the situation before and they can capitalize.
Yeah. That's gotta hurt.
Yeah.
That was a crazy overcook. That was like, damn, that guy died.
it was a valiant effort to try and get the top barrier, but
it really was, yeah.
But lost so much for it now, and now Polar Coretex in a pretty tough spot, all things considered.
Yeah, agreed. Now A is gonna have to just get whacked around. Nothing to his name right now in terms of, wow, assertive. What an amazing shot. That was awesome. That was cool. That was great. I love that.
Yeah, that was very impressive here, but as we're heading on to the next point, Name Chaotic immediately starts up the offense. Polar Coretex not out of the set just yet.
And assertive feels like she's collecting herself after that unfortunate point in the previous set. And that's good. That's good. It's hard to keep your nerves after something like that. It's going to be needed, though. One goalie barrier down here for the Fool. Oh, Zoe the Witch almost able to make it two. But one thing to look at as well, I'm actually noticing this is a fast cat. This cat's running at almost 600 movement speed when not hit.
Bit of an awkward Tofu Fortress there. Wary of Expo Chan. Trying to find an opening are Polar Coretex as Name Chaotic, just not finding any good passes. There's one, there's a dash punch, and as soon as even one opportunity presents itself, Name Chaotic is there.
Yeah, there he goes. The Name Chaotic, who comes to know and love this grand finals, finds it, is able to get that 1v2, I believe, in that situation with the dash punch. Has a flip as well. Oh my gosh, an explosive double berry to start this. Name Chaotic with flip as well. This could be a point all of a sudden, but no, a bit of a blunder here from Name Chaotic, unfortunately, might be the end of this play, but no, the flip's going to be there. The Flame Flurry, an opportunity, no. I say no, I'm saying no so much because Cyber is holding on so closely in so many of these situations.
Trying to find an opening is Zoe the Witch, the Fool, building up a lot of meter to Tofu Fortress. Gonna deny it for now, but no clean passes to Name Chaotic. Wait, a big opening. Name Chaotic all alone. The dash punch in, and all it takes is one every single time.
Name Chaotic, do not give this man the core. He will find a conversion, but Polar not out of the woods yet. Cyber Swipe have rallied. They have found their presence here, it feels like. Zoe the Witch, Expo Chan, and Assertive are all looking to take Polar Coretex on. That's one barrier going to be down. Zoe the Witch looking to make it two in this situation, but the beam guarantees that it goes out. The flip's going to be there for Name Chaotic, going to be defended away. One goalie barrier goes down, though. In the meantime, the Shaolin kick is there, though. This is the potential end of the set here. The punch isn't going to hit. The flip, though, there for A, but it's going to be blocked away by Expo Chan's Pillar. Zoe the Witch here with a flip as well. Assertive able to pass to the Pillar. The flip is going to be there, but it looks rough. No! Zoe the Witch pulls a little bit of magic, is able to get it through Zoro. The Firewall Sentry pushes the core forward. The creations are going to be here, but the clear is going to be found nonetheless. Name Chaotic is able to get the core again. The dribble from the Arenado comes through, and oh my gosh! The Aimi is barely fast enough to catch it there on the flip side. And one more chance here for Cyber Swipe. Zoe the Witch with no resources has to convert. The swipe is there. It doesn't able to go through. I'm losing control of my words. This point is so fast. Ooh. And Name Chaotic finds it off the course speed in overtime with the dash punch. A miracle after a miracle after a miracle after a miracle. And this man has done it again. Name Chaotic once again finds himself as MVP. And once again, he finds himself first pick.
Assertive really should have flipped there, but sometimes it's just aura. As Name Chaotic picks up the peak performance. Not going to try to get KO'd here. Not even close. So poor control-y. That guy is a scorer, not a brawler. As the rest of this draft progresses, you have to be worried, though, about those rune pillars coming out.
Yeah, and that's what allowed Cyber Swipe to win the previous game, right? Playing that corner offense in situations that were basically unclearable, but one big difference happens this time, and the Fool is on the Dubu, which can stop the core or outright prevent any sort of pillar shenanigans from happening with the Tofu Fortress or the Somersault. So they have better tools to deal with this situation. That being said, it's still obviously going to be very good, and Polar Coretex have a little bit of an uphill battle here in these corner offense situations.
And Zoe the Witch trying to find the opening here. Expo-chan getting in there as well as sort of rotating the core. The power of the Mom Boots Aimi is that speed, and the pillar is amazing once again. And this rune going to be such a problem for the entire Polar Coretex side, as a great shot by Zoe the Witch gets right past the Fool's reach.
Yeah, that was pixel perfect. That's got to be a good feeling shot to make. Slow roller right in, 1 point for Cyber Swipe, and they're going to need to pull together here to make it through this set, because they can get that scaling going. They don't have an X to deal with on the flip side, right? They can actually outscale in these situations, especially if they're the ones that end up getting some of the damage. That being said, they got to get through Name Chaotic first, and well, that's easier said than done right now.
Not going to get both barriers here, but still making progress for Polar Coretex. Zoe the Witch on the other end, though, getting it done as well. And now the Fool in a lot of trouble, barely avoiding a death here, as Name Chaotic taking a massive chunk of damage, the barrier falling behind them, and Polar Coretex in a bit of trouble.
Flame Flurry comes through, but the pillar's there just for good measure. Assertive here, able to dash forward again, no eject button, just pure confidence right now from the goalie of Cyber Swipe to get the goal forward. Punch gonna come through. Name Chaotic finds that goalie barrier, 1v2. Oh my gosh, the slow roll almost takes it, but one more opportunity, no, gonna be denied from the hook from Zoe the Witch. But there are no opportunities to score now. The pillar's gonna come through, no flip for Zoe the Witch now. There are no resources here on the offense for Cyber Swipe. This could potentially be disastrous. Name Chaotic has the flip, waits out the pillar, but no, the pillar waits out the flip. Gotta be a flip for flip exchange with the brawler, but the Strike Wars won. Name Chaotic does it again. Name Chaotic is able to get the goal, and Name Chaotic Polar Coretex one step closer to the championships.
2 goals away, and the Fool healthy in meter. Cyber Swipe completely out of it here. If there was ever a chance to make the plays, it is this one, but the banish is good. Gonna stall it out. Gonna build up a lot of time here, but Zoe the Witch critically low. All it takes is one hit here to take out the Rasmus, who's being carried to the other side of the map, and Name Chaotic a rare KO. Barrier takes everything on this power play.
Dash is there. The defense holds for now, no, but it's just too much with the creation in the back, and A is able to just strike it in the center. Nothing that Cyber Swipe can do, and this may be it. The season of North American, season 6 of the North American Strikers Academy might be going to the way of Polar Coretex as we approach our potential final moments here.
All it takes is one more goal. Name Chaotic can feel it, going aggressively for the possession. So the Witch, though, picks it up on the other end. Barrier by barrier, Cyber Swipe try to build this game back.
And right now, Name Chaotic looking to play spoiler to that dream. Zoe the Witch able to go forward, but Dubu is able to prevent it. No goalie barrier found. The defense is immaculate from Polar Coretex. Name Chaotic has the flip here, and I feel like we've been here before. The double barrier off of a missed pillar. This could be it. As Name Chaotic, once again, with possession of the core, going to be taken away by Zoe the Witch, but it feels like it's inevitable. The dribble comes through. 1, 2, 3. Doesn't get the goal, but the shallow kick comes through the pillar. Is enough to get the defense, though, and there are no resources for Polar Coretex on the offense. The strikes are just going to be it, and the strikes are not quite there yet. A trying to get a corner offense restarted for Polar Coretex again, trying not to get too excited, but the strike war is there. Name Chaotic takes it home. with a strike war against Assertive, and Polar Coretex are your North American Strikers Academy champions. Named Chaotic takes his team and leads them to victory off the series of his life.
That is a ridiculous performance from Dame Chaotic today. MVP of every single Polar Coretex win, it feels like. What a ridiculous level up in the playoffs from this brawler.
Yeah, 100% agreed. This man has scored nearly 40 goals, if not 40 goals, in the span of 5 games. That is such a ridiculous number to think about. 40 goals, right? Like, we celebrate, you know, the 500th goal. I remember that for Joker when that was a moment, right? And Named Chaotic got, like, almost 10% of that in 2 series. In 2 series. That's insane, right? That's got to be just an absolutely absurd number.
Yeah. This might be the single best individual brawler performance in any league. Wow.
100%.
That is... That's unheard of. And, of course, A and the Fool... so stable through it all, right? They just gave the opportunities.
Yeah, 100%. And they're the 2 veterans that I think most people look towards when they talk about star players. I think one of the biggest question marks about Polar Coretex was Named Chaotic. You know, at the start of the season, a lot of people saw him as one of the bottom brawlers here in the North American Strikers Academy. And today, I think we've saw some sort of growth here, because something has been fed to this man that has made him a monster. He went nuclear. He absolutely carved a path for Polar Coretex, and through all the doubters, through all the haters, I think Polar Coretex rest easy knowing that their investment in Named Chaotic was well done, was well placed. That man, just an amazing performance.
Okay, but we're going to go to a quick break. We're going to have the post show for you in just a second. We're going to interview the winner, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Hello, everybody, and we are here with our North American Strikers Academy champions. Polar Coretex has come out to play, and they have taken it all here in a grand finals reset following their run in the North American Strikers training ground last season. And the first thing that I want to talk about, besides Zoro's amazing suit, named Chaotic, I think the man of the hour here. I think you have absolutely had a fantastic, just a phenomenal, a career-defining performance here in grand finals today, and it could not have come at a better time. And we were talking about it very briefly before we started this post-game interview, but there were a lot of doubts, right, on this roster coming in, and I think a lot of those doubts were centered on you, and a lot of people didn't know what Polar had, what was the spice that you brought to the table, and I think you've fully shown that today here in Grands. What are your thoughts going into this game, and what do you felt like clicked for you coming into day number 2 here?
I mean, I kind of just hit my buttons. I don't really know, man. All I know is that I did good in like the stress, and I think that's kind of it.
Yeah, and another thing that we were talking about as well during the game, right? You played so focused on core control. You had so many situations where you won the 1v1s against Assertive, and there were a lot of situations where you drafted in ways that avoided the damage, that avoided diluting that play style. And what was the origins of your commitment to this very KO minimalistic style and focusing so much on winning those 1v1s? Because I feel like that was a decision that your team came together and practiced a lot.
Just stupid. Like,
yeah, fair. That's fair.
I don't really know.
No, that's absolutely fair. Well, whatever you did, whatever went on, whatever magic that you brought to the table, it absolutely worked. And I think you just played phenomenally today. And I think turning it over to A, you were absolutely the supporting unit behind all of Name Chaotic's magical plays today. What were your thoughts? How do you feel like you figured it out to set your brawler up for success today?
I mean, there's going to be a simple answer to this and then a longer one. The simple answer is Era. I don't know what this champion is doing, but it's doing a lot in NASA. I don't know about NASA, but like, I think like right when we played winners final against CYBR, got absolutely stomped by them with Era X. And we just realized like, okay, we're really struggling into it. So we're either going to ban it or we're going to pick it. But I think the long answer is like me and Name, we've been working together for a while. I mean, this is a long time coming. This is like, we won NASA last season. We're winning NASA this season. It's a lot of progress. And I think we've made really good progress together, not just me and Name, but like as a team all together. So we've had some tough conversations this season about what we need to do to win. And I think it really paid off. So I'm really happy. And yeah, W Era.
W Era. Which would, a lot of picks that people were saying, especially with all of those damage starts. We were talking about ICAST, just damage after damage. Like Prize Fighter and Deadeye showed like up 2 times today or something
we got
like
Prize
that.
Fighter Night Market twice, man. Like, what about me?
Yeah, and that was insane. And just kind of the stoicism to say, hey, we're going to pick ban Era every single time. We know that works, and not being phased by the damage, respect. All the commendations for that. And just what was your thought process? Like, did you ever doubt yourself on the Era pick, or did you feel like it was just solid every single time?
I think even like not just the CYBR game, like in the final, but I think every single series that we played, every team struggled against Era one way or another. I don't think we played against Era goalie, but even in the past, like we focused on like when we played Cyberswipe in the regular season, we were like, okay, they're picking Rune and Era very frequently, so we're gonna go for the Era, just because it worked, and it worked today again. So it's been a long time coming. I don't know.
No, that's fair, absolutely. And I'm gonna turn our attention over to the goalie here of Polar Coretex, the man who has dressed to impress. You had a small story to talk about why you dressed up in a suit today. Would you please regale your tale, or recall your tale, if I pronounce things correctly?
I'm simply destined for victory. What can I say? 2 seasons in a row, back to back. Zoro back against the wall. What will he do? No one ever knows, and it doesn't matter because there'll never be enough. I will win every time. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm like, I love the power trip. I love the power trip so much. But yeah, no, I was incredibly confident going into the game today. And as soon as we lost like the first few games to Era, we were like, okay, yeah, this is Era's problematic. Let's deal with it. Another thing, another ego trip. Every single game, my Vice was banned. I saw that. The one game you let me have Vice, we stomped it. 3 minutes, blow it up. I love Vice so very much. I also love this Kai character. I'm so glad I got to play him a little bit, even though he's not very meta at the moment. Like,
no, exactly.
Oh, it feels so good.
I wanted to talk about it as well. That was something that we were also discussing, even on games like the app, with all the damage starts we had, right? We were really discussing what Kai and Era brought to the table, and we were thinking it was just comfort, or it was just something that you wanted to bring out. And walk me through your thought process.
You just reminded me of the Atlas Lab game. I realized we were 1 point away from Blue Seed a lot.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things,
so many set 5s, or 0.5s in all of these sets. But bringing it back, the Kai pickup. You said you felt really confident coming into it. What do you think was the special sauce that allowed it to thrive in a setup that otherwise didn't feel like it allowed for it?
In this meta, if you want to pick Kai, you were looking for 2 things, really. You're looking to fight into Juno a lot of time, and you're also looking to like avoid damage. And it's really hard in this meta to avoid damage because there's a lot of damage characters, a lot of damage starts, especially in this bracket today. And there was a lot of times that I died or ran into pillars like a fool on Gates of Obscura, and like it wasn't the cleanest performance. But if you can get good core control against another team that's also trying to core control, Kai does really shine. He's very good there.
Yeah, and definitely I think shined in a lot of those situations. So Saya, I'm going to pass it off to you if you have any other questions for this roster. But again, congratulations to you 3. You guys all played phenomenally, and you gave us some amazing games here in Grandins.
Yeah, and to any one of you, I guess, what's next for Polar Coretex here?
So you want to say it?
Huh?
You want to say it? Am I saying it?
I don't know what you're saying. Okay, I don't know what I'm saying.
Okay, well, I'll say what's on my mind at least. I mean, like I said before, I mean, we went through NAS together. We went through NASA together. I think there's only one other option potentially, but yeah, I think the goal is NASA every time. I think we were very close last season, or this season rather, with landing. We literally lost to Bun, who is now in the finals of NASA. Second place, by the way.
Lost to second place by 1 point twice.
You know, so I want to be optimistic. I want to say that we've grown a lot, and I think we do have what it takes to be in NASA now. But obviously time will tell, and maybe things don't work out the way that we want it to, so you never know. But that's kind of the goal, I think, is always the top. So
yeah. And
oh
well, I think we both have the same thought. Wait, okay, you have a question? Go, you have a question, go.
Okay, just talking about qualifiers, are there any teams that you're going to be looking out in qualifiers? Any teams that you're looking to snipe the spots of, maybe? Any teams that you feel like you could beat or couldn't beat? Just obviously we're months away from that, but I wanted to hear if you have any initial thoughts.
I'm terrified of Bozo Bunch, won't lie. I think Bozo Bunch is got to make a Radiant revival, and I'm very scared of them. But I think we have odds. We have good odds.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If you played like you did today, definitely agree with that. And Sai, I'll pass it off to you for your question.
Yeah, and I guess we've kind of exhausted all of the usual topics, so we should probably go to shoutouts. So starting with you, Zoro, you probably have a lot of shoutouts to give. Who are we gonna thank here?
Okay, well, firstly, thank you to everyone who DM'd me after the game. I mean, my DMs absolutely exploded. It feels really good. I appreciate that greatly. But there's only one person I mainly want to shout out today, and that's my brother Coin. Love you, Coin. I'm glad we could pull that out today. I mean, thank you for sticking with me this entire season. Bro has been in my call every day for the past, month, I think. We've hung out, played games, just talked, and it's truly been, mentally resetting. I feel like at a point, obviously I left Coin on the Fools a long time ago, and it kind of left a part of myself, in a way, because, I spent so much time with him, and we distanced ourselves, and now we're kind of making a comeback, and, yeah, it feels good to be back.
All right, then any shout-outs you have to give here?
I'm going to give one shout-out in particular. I'm going to shout out Josh Gramella Styles for being a phenomenal coach the past 2 weeks and showing up in call and helping us with drafts, kind of being the steady voice that we needed sometimes, because I think low-key without him, I think we might have lost, genuinely.
Yeah.
And I know that sounds kind of silly to say, just your coach isn't there, you guys suck, but it's a team effort at the end of the day. Coach showed up, did what he needed to do. So W Josh, W Vaughn, W Grant OS for also being coaches. Vaughn showed up once in call today, I think. That was great. W Vaughn. And then, yeah, shout out my teammates. Shout out to everyone that's supporting Polar. I think we have like a decent amount of fans in the chat. It was nice to see everyone kind of rooting for us. So I appreciate you guys. And a particularly really big shout out to Bestie and Slot. Shout out to referees. Shout out to everyone on the producer team. Everyone that's involved in this behind the scenes. The scene is nothing without them. I appreciate you guys to the moon and back. You guys have been phenomenal all season. I know this season wasn't like the best thing that kind of worked out with scheduling and stuff, but you guys really deserve your shout outs and more than just shout outs. But yeah, I'm looking forward to LAN. So let's go.
Hell
LAN.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, sign up for LAN. And last but not least, I think by common consensus, Finals MVP.
Finals MVP.
Dame Chaotic. Do you have any shout outs?
Not really, but I will say, big fan of my teammates. They're goated, and shout out to OMG, my friend group. Very supportive whenever I would see an @ mention. So, yeah, that's kind of it.
WOMG. I mean, I know. You know what? You should have rolled with it. Just like a brawler stands alone. You know. No shout out
God,
to myself.
I'm so
you know.
cool.
So cool.
I'm so fucking cool, edgy.
Hey, yeah. I mean, you were on it. You were on it today. So absolutely a time to kind of bask in that glory for a little bit. But once again, any last comments? Anything from the Polar Coretex roster before we sign off?
Polar sweep.
Polar sweep.
Hope you enjoyed the show.
Yeah.
Oh
We
yeah.
did for the fans.
Yeah, we absolutely did enjoy the show. You guys put on a phenomenal performance today, and we still got a little bit more left, right? Polar Coretex coming from the North American Strikers training grounds. You guys will be able to watch your former league duke it out for the final time tomorrow on Monday for the season. And I think everything that we needed to say has been said. Thank you guys all for showing up today. Congratulations again to Polar Coretex, Polar Sweep, and all of that wonderful stuff. But I'm Brickbat, joined by Sai and the rest of Polar Coretex. We'll be signing off for now. We'll catch you guys around.